What's up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going, Celtic Warrior Shane?
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Fella.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Welcome to episode 1. That's right, guys. It's Wrestling on the Rocks, where every show is our first show because we can't figure it out. That's right. We stay at the bottom. We start at the bottom, and there we remain. Guys, I am Marsh at Ref Marsh. We got producer lady at WOTR The Show.
Hello.
And we got her mic'd.
I'm back, baby.
She's back, bitches. As always, also back. Kev, tell the people what's up.
I'm Kevlar on the Rocks with an X. Welcome to Wrestling on the Rocks.
Hells yeah. Can you see him on the screen? Is he coming in clear? All right, so the last one, it took a while. For
It was like,
watching.
I was testing our audience. Wanted to see who's out there, who's watching.
You never know when you're going to get one free sub. iOS devices are getting a free sub right now. I just saw on Twitch. Guys, tell all your iOS friends to give us their free sub. It'll buy me a drink.
Yes.
Guys, it's going to be a good show. I've got coffee. I've got tequila. I've got ice. And we got Kev on the screen. This is going to be good. And we got a mic on the producer. Kev, how have you been?
Pretty good. Hanging in there. How have you been?
Been all right.
Felt like it's
It
been
was
like
a
a
busy
week.
day today.
Happy 2021.
Yeah, Happy New Year, guys. This is our first episode of the new year.
Mm-hmm.
This could be our best show all year.
Well, we like to set the bar low and don't go far from that.
Yeah, it's definitely our first show. It's definitely episode 1. It's also first episode of the year. It doesn't happen all the time. I mean, that's a pretty rare occasion.
We
Kev,
like
it
to
was a
start
busy
out
day.
fresh.
We had a little car issue, so I had to have the car taken into the shop. And when I came home, producer's like, "Good news, here's the part." Like, what? Took it to the mechanic, came back with a part. Didn't have it installed. So we'll figure that one out as we go. It's going to be a week-long adventure as that part makes its way inside of the car. So,
What? You sent a mechanic.
yeah,
You sent an
Wait.
aircraft mechanic to a car mechanic.
Wait a
that's
second.
what happens when you take a Navy mechanic and send them to put something inside of a car. Here's the part. Took me all day. What? Do you even have the tools? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I got the part now. Leah Moonlight coming through. Cheers, Leah. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the drink. Kev,
Cheers.
what were you about to say?
I was just wondering if you guys had the part laying around
No.
and then decided to take it in and be like, here, put this in.
No, it was reverse. She went to the shop, said, "What part do I need?" They said, "This one." And she said, "I'm going to a store," and went and bought that part and then came home with it. And I was like, "Okay, but it's not in the car, though." And she's like, "Yes, I started there, but I went and bought the part myself, and now it's here." And I was like, "But you're supposed to take it back so they could put it in." She goes, "No need. No need." So
You saved the receipt, right?
I'm just saying I always learn more and more about I'm a do-it-yourselfer, not because it's like my preference, it's because it's her demand. I'm like, "Hey, I'd like the mechanic to put this in," and she goes, "Do it yourself." Do it your goddamn self. Here's a YouTube video and a part. I go, "Oh, all right."
Yeah.
All right.
And I found a really honest
Head down,
YouTube
okay.
install video. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the YouTube video, the guy's all like, "Oh, what the fuck? Oh, god damn it." Because this shit's so annoying. Like, the dude's freaking out in it.
See, I love watching those videos. This is how you put in the part. They bust their knuckles. Son of a bitch! There's going to be a lot of cussing when you're changing this out.
Yeah. The guy opens it up to it and he goes, "Well, I guess there's 2 fucking thermostats all of a sudden. Now I know that."
Yeah, that's how I knew it was legit.
Yeah.
When he started cursing and started, I was like, oh, all right, this is on my level.
I don't trust a mechanic if he's not getting pissed within minutes.
Yeah. Step 1, pour yourself a drink. You're gonna get pissed off. Step 2, locate the part in the engine.
They're all showing like what you need to get started, and the camera zooms over by a wrench, and then by a part, and then it's like pliers, and then it's like a case of beer. It goes, this is everything you're gonna need. You're gonna need everything here.
Stick with me. We'll get through this together.
Yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry. So that was our day, Kev. I'm glad you're having a good day over there. Kev, I got a bottle for you. I just got to figure out a way to weasel it down there. I'm just letting you know.
And I've been protecting it for you because he is ready to just have this entire bottle.
I'm almost completely out of the other 2 bottles I bought for myself. Here's the problem, Kev. And anyone listening. Terramana, the tequila, famed by The Rock, is fucking delicious in coffee. Coffee is my favorite drink. And then you add tequila to it with a little bit of agave syrup. Nothing else. It's fucking incredible, dude.
I like that you were giving me shit for that recipe too. The Terramana recipes that called for agave and coffee. And he said, "Oh, that's so stupid. It's like there's hardly anything in it." And he finally tried it, and now it's his favorite drink. So you're welcome.
No. What I said was it was stupid that they wrote out a thing that said recipes and it said coffee, tequila, syrup. And I was like, good. I'm glad we saved this. You know the other recipe on there?
You're welcome again.
The other recipe that's on there, Kev? It's called tequila on the rocks. You want to guess what the recipe states?
Grab your drinking buddy and some ice.
Yes. Yes, I'm glad we saved that because there's no way I'd remember that otherwise.
Yeah. Did I pass?
Yes. And then the other one was eggnog. You know what it said? Put a shot in eggnog. I was like, this isn't a list of recipes. It's a list of mixers.
Follow me for more.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was good.
I like the recipes
So,
that remind
I got a question. So if you
Oh wait, hold on, producer. What you like?
if
Recipes?
you do
What?
the recipes
in
that
coffee.
sound like we made it.
Oh yeah, like we just made it up. All right, Kev. What was your question?
So if you do the coffee recipe with the
Yeah.
Terramana and the agave nectar,
Yeah.
what if you add some of the Jameson cold brew? Is that too much?
Do you think whiskey and tequila mix well?
Yeah, there's so many drinks that have whiskey and tequila in it.
What? Name one.
Like Long Island iced teas and
Name 2.
adios motherfuckers.
It's called Adios, motherfuckers, and you're like, this is a good place to start.
You can cut the house with Jameson and Terramana. And coffee.
I guess. I don't think it would be bad. But I'm just saying in my personal life, I can't remember too many nights where I was like, yes, tequila and also whiskey. Let's get this party started. And then also thought, that was a good night. You know what I mean? I can't remember that happening a lot.
Well, that's probably the point. You can't remember it.
That's made it a good night, I guess, right? Leah says, love me some AMFs. Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you just made that up, dude. I thought you were being a dick.
He's hip. Kev's hip.
No, he worked in a fucking bar where a bunch of douches go to hang. I've hung out. I've hung there. I've hung out over there. But that's where he was a bartender. No one went there because they're like, oh, all my cool friends are here. Everyone went there saying like, fuck, dude, all the way out there. I bet you that dude, the Eastside King, used to go to that one. The guy called himself Eastside King. I don't remember his actual name, but he had a huge back tattoo of a crown, and he called himself whatever. Either way, I thought it was like homebrewed. Leah also says she loved them blue. So
Yeah.
right, well,
Adios
Mm,
comes
yeah.
in blue. With blue
it
carousel.
comes in
on it.
blue.
Yeah. Well, when you mix it properly.
I'll tell you what, I've never had a blue drink I didn't like. So that movie
Stone
Zodiac
Smurfs.
had me drinking those fucking things forever. What was it? What are those called? Aquavelvas? Yeah, I made those a bunch because of that movie Zodiac, and mostly because it was blue. All right.
Anyways, very sidetracks.
So that's what's in my drink. Kev, what's in your glass?
I have Rock Boys TK 421 Cream Ale, brewed locally here in Tucson, Arizona, and it's delicious. From
Good,
Rock Boys Rockabilly Roadhouse.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. What the hell was that?
Probably couldn't see shit on the monitor,
He
but
went close to the.
Oh, he was
I zoomed it.
groaning.
He zoomed in with our high Thunderdome technology.
Yeah, we've been Thunderdome since before Thunderdome was cool.
That's true. They stole it off of us.
Yeah, there's no way Pritchard wasn't watching our show and thought, "You think we can get 1,000 of these?"
it's
What, Kev?
yeah.
I thought he froze for a second.
Me too.
Nothing. I was
He
just
just stopped.
He just stopped himself. Is he frozen? Did he have a stroke? Nah, I just paused. What? Physically paused. Let's see. As far as
sometimes you gotta let somebody else speak.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's on me. That was a dig at me. I know. It's because I got coffee and tequila and I'm ready to go.
I'm hyped, bro. Let's go.
Yeah.
Smackdown. Let's do it.
Real quick, let's see. Was there anything news-wise? The only thing that we said earlier was that McFoley announced he has COVID. I don't know if that's like an announcement, but he had mentioned it. It sounds like he's been quarantining for a while, so hopefully he's on the other side of it. But that was a little bit, it's a little scary to hear about him getting COVID. Not a fan of that.
No.
I'm going to scroll through real quick because I thought you sent me something else.
That would be the worst way a hardcore legend goes out is by COVID.
Yeah, that'd be awful. That'd be awful. A nice little tribute. The FTR renamed their Goodnight Express move to Big Rig for Brody. So rest in peace, Brody. I thought that was a nice little thing. Oh, and then this is the other one, OVW. Brian Pillman Jr. vacated his OVW title due to his growing AEW needs. But that was kind of it for news. Nothing that I felt like we could really dig into. You know what I mean? Was there anything that you knew about?
No, I don't think so.
All right, good. Just one thing that this year could
I'll
use
tweet
a lot
it
less
out
of
later.
is news. Yeah, you'll tweet it. If there's one thing I definitely would like more of this year, it's less news. I'd like more less news.
Just feelings, no news.
Yes. Just feelings. Let's see, man. All right, well, let's get into it then. We had SmackDown. We had Legends Night on Raw. Let me see. The opening match on SmackDown was Big E versus Baron Corbin, which ended up in a tag match with Corbin, Sami Zayn, Big E, and Apollo Crews. I don't know. It was a good
Apollo!
match. Apollo!
Sorry.
I'm just kind of scrolling through, and I'll be honest, this felt like a little bit of a static SmackDown looking at it, but I remember just thinking all the matches were good. It was fine. It was entertaining. But I don't know that anything specifically was happening because we had that, and that tag ended up being Corbin walking away and Sami Zayn losing the match. So it's like, what do we go to?
A-hole.
What are you talking about?
He's a treasure.
He was trying to surround somebody else's henchman.
That was true. That was funny. He was trying to boss him around. You work for me? That was pretty good.
No, it was good. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was good. I liked it.
And he was really good on the commentary, too. Actually, Sami Zayn was great on commentary.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Giving a mic to Sami Zayn, I feel like, is always a really good idea. I feel like if you just aren't sure what to do, just be like, I don't know, just send out Sammy for like 15 minutes. He'll sort it out. Let's see, but I don't have a lot to say about that because I don't
He has nothing
know
to do
that
with
it's
this
turning
match.
into much. What was that?
I was just going to say, Sammy has nothing to do with this match, but put him out there. He'll make sense out of it all.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly how it went. Do you think that we're getting into a bigger feud with Big E and Corbin? Do you think Corbin takes the IC title off Big E?
I think it'd be cool. I mean, I like Corbin. I'm liking the Knights of the Lone Wolf.
I think Corbin with henchmen seems like one of the better ways to try and get that title off of Big E.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I'm not saying that Big E needs to lose that title right now. I'd like to see him on a long reign, but it does feel like he's under serious threat now, which on his way to the IC title, I don't know that it felt that way. He was in some brutal matches with Sheamus, and it really, I felt, highlighted his singles abilities.
Mm-hmm.
But when he got into a match with Sammy, it was always like, can Sammy outsmart Big E? Because the thought was never, can Big E beat Sammy? It was like, obviously. It felt like a really obvious, of course Big E can, and of course he will. But if Sammy can outwit him or out-weasel him, then he could hold on to his title. So that was always the conversation. So I guess that puts you in a weird spot where now you got to have somebody who can come up against Big E that seems like an actual threat. Because otherwise it just gets boring with all these jobbers going, like, just losing title match after title match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I
and
don't
one of
think
the
I have a
things that
problem. Go ahead.
no, and like I'm on the same page. Like I want Big E to have a nice run. You know, he deserved it. But you know, one thing I didn't realize until they showed the recap on Smackdown is last week they kept calling this Big E's the biggest match of his career, and it's like, guys, he's been IC champion before. And to me, it was like, why is this match any different than his first shot at the IC title?
Yeah, except I think that Big E, when he first got the IC title, was on a singles run and had been. So I think that this was more of, can he do it? Like the
But
thought
he's already
process
proven
of,
he can do it.
I know. He proved he beat the shit out of Sheamus a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that maybe the importance was that he wasn't much of an identity when he first got that title. He made an identity in a tag team. And now it's important for that identity to stand on its own. So I think from a strictly creative point, it probably was more important that this character stand on its own than the previous version of him just kind of going through the motions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that he was ever complacent or anything like that, but I mean, like, when you look at character-wise, it just seemed like there's a reason it didn't stick.
Yeah, and like I said, I can understand that, but I don't, I just don't like them flat out saying, oh, this is the biggest match of his career when he's been in this match before.
Yeah. It makes you want to go back and see some of that IC stuff just to see if, like, maybe it was, like, a shitty... Like, maybe there was nobody really that good in the division at the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I hear you. Let's see. We had Riot Squad versus Tamina and Natalya. Are you liking this Billy Kay stuff, man? Is it hitting you?
No. It's hitting me to walk up and walk away from the TV.
Is anyone feeling kind of like not as interested in Riot Squad? Because I don't know. I feel like they've changed.
I feel like Riot Squad's lost a ton of steam, personally.
Yeah. I don't think that they've changed. It's just that the way they've booked them. Where they keep going up against Billy Kay and whoever she tries to be her tag team partner. And, like, yeah, they've lost a ton of steam. And I think it's going to be hard to get that momentum back.
I actually do, too. I thought that Live Forever documentary was kind of highlighting the kind of ambiguous and sort of vague character that they wanted to put Liv in, where it's like trying to find yourself kind of a deal. And I feel like that we're on the other side. I thought we were going to see her really stand alone. It seemed like she really just lost herself in I'm Ruby's partner again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Sidekick. Not
yeah,
sidekick.
She's feeling a little bit like a sidekick. I feel like they both become a little vague. And then now Ruby's kind of doing this big brother to little brother, kind of like Leave It to Beaver shit. Just like rubbing Liv's head. Oh, you. Like, it feels like now Liv's just kind of like this weird vapid. No, not the fake Wonder Woman, the real Wonder Woman. And you're like, I lost so much interest during that segment and the ones that have followed it. Like, I just kind of don't care anymore. I feel like they lost it. Where before, when they first teamed back up, I said, this is it. They need to go for the tag titles. They need to have a long tag run. I feel like them being left out of the tag title picture has had them lose their identity to me.
Yeah. I feel bad that I've lost interest because I was super, super interested. I mean, I love Ruby Riott.
Yeah.
But I was getting so interested in Liv, and now I don't know what's happening. Yeah. I just feel really bad for them because I want to see them be like, the next big thing. I really do.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be tag champions. I thought they were going to be tag champions for a while, and then now they've been so far from it for so long that they just feel like kind of side characters in someone else's story.
Yeah, well, what they need to do is because, and the way they've been booked, I think they've lost a lot of their identity, and they need to come back to, basically what brought them to the dance. Be the, start riots. Your whole thing is the riot squad, attack people in the back, maybe not in like 100% heel way, but, just go balls to the wall and everything. And
my confusion is that Liv had 8 months, nearly a year to kind of figure out who she was character-wise. And with all of the vignettes with the tease, I thought, oh, this is a great tease to get to that character. And I feel like we were getting close with, she got the new gear and she was kind of doing, I don't know, she was doing some new stuff. So I thought we were really going to see that. And I thought you had a good amount of time to develop a character. Just one. It doesn't have to be all, just one. But I don't feel the connection anymore.
You know what it feels like? And tell me what you think here, Kev. It feels like she came out, branched out, actually did become a different character than we saw in Ruby or in the Riot Squad. And then once they went back to Riot Squad, instead of bringing the new character in with the tag team, because Ruby's even said it that she used to feel like the leader of the Riot Squad and now she feels like an equal in the Riot Squad. But I don't feel like it was Liv stepping up and then coming back over. It feels like once Liv came over, she stepped back down. It feels like I didn't think it was going to feel like, hey, we're moving backwards. But then she changed her character so much to go back to the way that it was, just with different makeup on now and gear, that it's like, oh, we did really revert backwards. Yeah.
No, I think that 100%. And I think a lot of it has to do with what they did with her. Because they had those vignettes. They had people eating it up. And they're like, holy shit, we're liking this. And I don't know if WWE was expecting people to, but, people were liking it. And then they just threw it in the Lana, Rusev, Bobby Lashley love triangle. And this weird, thing, and just kind of just shat all over all that buildup. And I think after that, they're just like, well, just, go back to what you were. And yeah, it's just...
There was stuff after that. Because then, remember, she was coming out with all, like, the carnival stuff, and she had her own music, the match she was having with Natty. But then she cut that promo where she's like, I'm just going to, like, start a new chapter. I don't know, just like a new chapter, like a chapter one.
She said something to the effect, I'm going to find myself. And we thought, wait a minute, no. This whole time you've been finding yourself. Yeah. We need to come to some sort of conclusion to then build on stories.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a real bummer as the last couple weeks as we've been watching. We've been like, wow, I felt bad about how much interest I've lost in the Riot Squad entirely because I was so about them. When Liv got her first shirt, we ordered it immediately. We're like, we want to support this, and we love Liv. And then when Ruby came back, we're like, this is it. Ruby's incredible. But I don't see anything different at Riot Squad right now. Has a different haircut and different gear, but seems identical to Riot Squad 2 years ago.
Well, it's face Riot Squad instead of the heel. But yeah, I almost, in the back of my mind, I'm wondering if they're trying to fill another person in for Sarah Logan. or if they're expecting her to come back, I don't know. But it, I don't know, doesn't feel as hot as it was at the beginning of last year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fallen off for me entirely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's kind of a bummer. But you know what's crazy? We had Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair and Bayley and Carmella in a match, and both those teams seemed awesome to me.
That was dope. Yeah.
And the match was great.
Yeah.
I actually really like both of these tag teams. And it was so crazy to see, too, because you watch the way that Bianca and Sasha were tag teaming and a lot of their tandem offense and stuff, and you go, yes, this is tag team wrestling. And it just reminds me of how Sasha and Bayley spent so much time with FTR and learning true tag team wrestling. So much so that, Boston Hug Connection, the whole purpose of that was to show that women's tag teams can be just like men's tag teams and deserve a title. And they did that. But then you look at, so Bayley and Carmella, Sasha and Bianca are teams that are legit looking like fantastic tag teams. But in the match before it, there was also 2 women tag matches. It didn't feel the same at all.
And I actually, what I love about them, those women that you just said, they all have their own unique personality. They don't feel like they're all the same character and they're all the same person trying to mesh together. It feels like they're different, they're unique, and they're working together.
Yeah. They all have 4 strong personalities. Maybe that's a big part of it. But I remember liking this match a lot. Kev, what do you think?
No, I skipped it. I had no interest in it. I'm just kidding. It's just no, it was a great match. You put the 4 of them into the ring, they all have chemistry with each other, and they work well with each other, and it was like a can't miss. Like, this was gonna do well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought it was great. I really like what they're doing. I know people online are losing their minds about them being in tag matches and stuff, and I'm like, relax, guys. We have a long road to travel. We'll be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Everyone says everyone's buried all the time. Dude, Daniel Bryan and Otis against Cesaro and Shinsuke I really liked. And the main event, Kevin Owens and Jey Uso was fucking fantastic.
I'm also liking, real quick, I didn't notice once again until the recap of the Lumberjack match. But did you notice Otis is wearing Vader gear?
Yeah.
I'm liking it.
Yeah, it's definitely Vader gear. I was
last week especially it was red and black, and now it's black and silver, but
yeah.
It's yes.
Yeah. No, I liked it a lot. Oh, that's what it was when producer first saw it, she thought it was like Anvil because he had the tank tops that went down that low. And I was like, yeah, kind of. But it is, like you said, a Vader pattern.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I loved that, too. I really like Chad Gable with all of them mixed in. The way that they're using Chad Gable right now, I'm getting such a kick out of. And Kevin and Jay, dude, this was just a solid show. Go ahead.
Before, in the 3-man tag, you got to love Gable and Daniel Bryan and Otis doing the Three Amigos.
That was nuts.
That was amazing.
They did the Three Amigos thing, the side, the coughing to the side and everything. A lot of people on the show were wearing Brody armbands. You had Sasha, Bayley, Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, Big E. They were all wearing Brody ones. I wondered, and I guess we'll just see if they keep doing it or not, but I just, seeing the Three Amigos, it seemed so weirdly out of place, but also really funny. I wondered if that had something to do with Brody. Like if it was just the kind of thing they would have done to make him laugh, or if it was like a movie that he talked about or something. You know what I mean? Like I wondered if that had some sort of connection. And there's a good chance it has absolutely zero connection and I'm grabbing at stuff. But it did seem weirdly out of place, but also pretty fucking funny.
You're sounding like a regular wrestling writer. Just grabbing at something and hoping you get a bite.
Oh yeah, because when you get them, that makes you a legit journalist. You don't have to do research to be a wrestling journalist, dude. It's so good. You wildly guess, you make up shit on the spot. Boom, wrestling journalist.
Yeah. You get one right, and you go to the big times.
That's right. dude. Companies will have you on for 30 years until you say some dumb shit.
Yeah.
Dude.
And then
Kevin
even then,
Owens-
somebody else will pick you up. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, I'm gonna get you. Kevin Owens and Jey Uso. I mean, they're just masters. I don't know what SmackDown was a bit of a tough one to like critique, really, just because it was just such a fun show all the way through, man.
Yeah, it was weird because it was one of those shows that went by really quick.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they're like, "Oh, main event," and you're like, "Oh, okay," and then you think of everything that happened, and it was just fluid, and it was entertaining the whole time, and I liked it. Except for I didn't like one thing, but go ahead.
Yeah, and I thought that like a lot of the tag teams I felt like this was a lot of tag team matches, and I don't typically like a lot of tag team matches, but almost every match on this card was a tag team. I mean, was it the main event was, the match before it was, the match before that was, the match before that was, and the opening match
The main event
also
wasn't.
was. Main event was Jey Uso and Kevin Owens.
It's not a match.
What?
You said all the matches were tag matches.
Except for the main event.
Oh, I thought you said the main event was this and that.
No, I said the one before the main event.
But
was.
anyways.
Yeah, every single match on here was a tag team match except for the main event. And some of the tags seemed a little bit like, really, do we need to do this? Or these people seem kind of weirdly paired up, but they all worked. They all worked really well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what was the thing you didn't like?
The one thing I didn't like is the waste of a return of Sonya.
Oh, yeah.
That was absolutely stupid. They show her in the back, walking through, and it's like, oh shit, Sonya's there. That's great. Yeah, Sonya got reinstated. That was it. I was like, this couldn't wait a couple weeks to be at Rumble?
It couldn't wait to do anything at all. Like, this was so weird. It was just a weird thing. She just walked through the hallway. She was winking at the Riot Squad. I liked Big E in the back doing, he had a Bludgeon Brothers shirt on. He also had I bet you it's that one he pulled out of his bag. The other day he tweeted about he had a Bludgeon Brothers shirt in his bag, and he talked about how he doesn't keep merch. But that was one that Luke had thrown at him as a joke, and he threw it in his bag and said he just always left it there. And he goes, no matter how many times I cleaned it out, I left it there. And he goes, up until last year he took it out, but it was just shirt that he just kept anyways because Luke gave it to him, and then now it means all that much more and stuff. But he was wearing that shirt, and Sonya just walks through.
Yeah.
And then that was it. And Corey just goes like, oh yeah, Sonya was reinstated. And they go, oh, okay. And then that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't have had her run out on somebody, have her music hit, have her cut a promo. Why you wouldn't wait till Rumble. Or if you're not going to wait till Rumble, why wouldn't you have her interact with somebody? It's just her walking the halls, man. It was so weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there needed to, like you said, if they didn't wait till Rumble, she needed to jump into a storyline immediately to get a pop.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, she's back. This is great. Cool. She's going against, whoever. And like you said, she's just walking around. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how's it going? Everyone in the back's acting shocked, and us as fans are supposed to, I don't want to say give two shits because obviously it's cool she's back, but she didn't do anything. So I don't care. I don't give shits.
I was thinking her little nod to the Riot Squad was like, oh, okay, so now you're going to join the Riot Squad.
I don't see her joining the Riot Squad, but I don't know. They could. I didn't see a lot of other pairings we got. I didn't see Peyton and Lacey pairing up for shit. I didn't see Billy Kay running around with a resume as some sort of weird fucking joke. So, I can't just say, well, I didn't see that. Daniel Bryan and Otis being a tag team did not seem like the kind of thing I would have called. So, I can't say no, but...
Yeah. But at the same time, like, even Billy looking for a tag team partner. Oh, I found one. And it's Sonya. Like, oh, shit. That would have been interesting. It would have popped. And then even if she goes out there and just hits Billy and then walks back into the back, like, okay, cool, But something, yeah.
She didn't even say a word. She just walked. It was so weird, man. Yeah, I really didn't like it at all. It felt like a complete waste. It was an absolute waste. Like, so excited she's back. Really glad about the announcement. But what an absolute waste, and what a pointless segment. We're just gonna
Yes.
show her walking for a minute and a half, 30 seconds or whatever. I was like, what? Why?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what she does, but I got no fucking clue what that'll be because they didn't give us anything to work with. So you can only be so excited. I feel just as excited knowing that she's back as I did waiting for her to come back. Same level of excitement. You know, whenever it happens, it happens. So now I feel that way about a story. Well, whenever she interacts, she'll interact with somebody, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Yeah.
There was another shout out on the show for Brody as well. Big E was cutting his promo in the back, and he was talking. He called out. He was talking about fans from around the world, and he called out Brody's hometown and used his family's names as examples for fan names. So that was cool too. I like seeing the little nods as they go through, just like intertwining that stuff into there. I like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any other notes about SmackDown, man. Yeah.
Nope.
And anything happened over the weekend? Wrestle Kingdom happened over the weekend. I saw some of that. That's fine. I mean, yeah, it's fine. It's really good matches, but at the same time, like without knowing a lot of the story, you're just watching good matches. And I said it before, I'm to a point where I'm a little bit exhausted of just great matches. I don't care anymore about having a great match. I want an incredible story that gets me to that match, which is why I'm so invested in Roman and all the stuff that he does. Because I'm so invested in everything that it takes to get to the match that a good match on the other side of it is outstanding. But, I mean,
you need to
just
get
all these
invested.
random-
You need feelings.
yeah, I'm just over good matches. It just, I mean, I can see all the good matches I want, you know. I'd even take mediocre matches with an incredible story, you know. So, so watching Wrestle Kingdom, it was cool. It was a bunch of good matches. It could have been any good match. I felt no investment towards any of the characters or the people involved, and there was some cool stuff, good spots, good moves, and you know, somebody won at the end of each one of them. So I guess it is what it is.
No, they
Kinda my
actually had
issue
winners.
They had winners.
Just kidding.
I mean, I don't want to like undermine Wrestle Kingdom because it's amazing as it is. They had a bunch of fans in there, which was cool. They have them all with masks, and they weren't allowed to make any audible noises. They could only clap and stomp, but you couldn't make noises with your mouth. Even with a mask, you couldn't scream. Yeah. And they were all respectful and following the rules. And I was like, you could never get away with this shit in America.
I was gonna say that's.
Yeah. Japan is an example of why America sucks. Japan's all like, hey guys, we can only do it if you guys all just shut the fuck up and you only clap. And all of Japan is like, yeah, of course we'll follow the rules.
Yeah,
Why would we not follow
a
the
problem.
rules?
Yeah.
Not a problem. No issue.
I miss Japan.
Yeah. And then in America, we're
Well,
like, hey
they
guys,
did.
we can have 12 people in the show, but you can't throw turds at each other. And we're like, no fucking way, it's my right.
No. Yeah. These are my freedoms.
Yeah.
Smashing on my constitutional freedoms of throwing turds.
Yeah. What kind of communist shit is this? Give me my freedom. So crazy.
Don't tread on me, bro.
Yeah.
I need to throw
Now-
my turds.
Yeah. Oh, I would literally do anything to get fans back in the fucking arenas. Literally anything. I want it so bad. Like, can you wear just a mask for 10 minutes? No! No, I said anything. I'm not doing that.
Anything
sense.
but that.
Yeah. Well, how about you guys just
Like
shut
the
the
old-
fuck up when you're there? No, I'm there to yell with my mouth unmasked. All right, well, we're not doing it. What?
Yeah.
I don't get it. That's what it feels like, man. That was the saddest part for me watching Wrestle Kingdom. I was like, oh, man. Look at that entire country following rules and being respectful. Fuck. We're that close.
Oh,
All you
we're
gotta do is
not.
listen.
We are not that
But
close at all,
so
but
far away.
Exactly.
awesome for them. I'm
Oh,
happy
yeah.
for them.
Yeah. No, it's like we're that close.
Yeah.
If we could just follow basic rules and courtesy, we would have it. But like you said, and we're so far away. Can you follow one rule? No. Well, then you can't have it. Why?
Yep.
Because you can't follow one rule. Gore.
Boo.
Yeah. Boo. Oh, man. Kev.
All right, get your H phones ready. It's time for Raw.
Oh no. Dude, it started with the fucking zoom in close up of the back of an iPhone case. It's like, oh god.
No, it was an H phone case. God damn it.
Yeah.
Weren't you
It
paying
was an
attention?
H phone. Yeah. You weren't listening.
I'm
H phone.
I'm streaming live from my H pad here. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which audience they were aiming for here.
I'll tell you exactly what audience. Kev, when I went to work
Yeah.
today,
Oh, I thought you were
for
talking.
one, Kev is the audience because he's all like, not only will I eat my vitamins, I'll eat my phone. You tell me what to do, Hogan, I'm doing it. And then he just starts
I'm saying
flexing.
my prayers.
Yeah. I will pray so hard. I went to work today, as you do, when you're told you have to go to work. And I am.
When you have a job, yeah, you gotta go to work.
Yeah.
Goes hand in hand.
They prefer you show the fuck up. So I do. I do.
Mm-hmm.
So while I'm there, one of my buddies from works walks over and he's like, as soon as I walk in, he's like, yo, what's up? And I was like, hey, still want coffee. And
Wait, you never talked to me. Why are you talking to me all of a sudden?
yeah, well, I mean, this is a guy I talk to from time to time, but it's not like he was like thrilled like I just showed up. And I was all like, this is going to be one of those I haven't seen you since last year jokes. And I'm going to love it because I love all of those.
It's been so long.
Yeah. I haven't seen you since like last year, dude. And I'm like, ah! They get me every time. They get me.
You're one of those last year marks.
Yeah. I'm 100% on it. This is our best show of the year so far.
Hey,
It's also
we
our
need some
first year of the year.
audio difficulties because it's going too smooth.
No, we've had plenty. You've been coming in choppy, but we're dealing
right?
with it.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah, you've just been missing all of his farts. I'm over here yelling at him.
Oh, he's missing them all right.
I am. Emotionally, I'm missing those turd flames.
Yeah. When we had the fireside hangout and I farted right into the fire, he was like huffing it in. He was like, get it while you can.
If this is how I get COVID, it's worth it.
Yeah. So the guy's all excited to see me, and I go and I sit down, and then he comes running over, and he's like, dude, that show was so good last night. And I was like, what show was so good last night? And he was all like, it was so fun. And I was all like, I didn't have a show last night. Like, you watched someone else's show, dude. I don't know what's happening. And then he was all like, dude, Raw. And I went, wait, you watched Raw last night? He goes, yeah. He goes, him and his buddy turned on Raw because it was Legends Night, and they saw a bunch of legends were going to be there.
Yeah.
He said that they watched it, and he's like, dude, it's been so long since we've watched a Raw from beginning to end. And he goes, but we did. We watched the whole thing. He was like, it was so good. He goes, Keith Lee, he's going to win a title at WrestleMania. There's no way he can't. That dude's going to be huge. Keith Lee's incredible. Nice. And then he's all like, and Matt Riddle and Bobby Lashley. I was like, dude, these guys fucking hate each other. And I was like, right? And he said that one dude
Did he say dude or did he say dude or bro?
Bro. And then he even said, he goes, one of the guy he was watching with has a kid. And the kid came over and was all like, you know it's fake, right? And then he goes, legit, when Bobby Lashley and Matt Riddle started their match, they called the kid back in and say, you want to take one of those? Is that fake enough for you? So that's who it was aimed for, dude. It was aimed for the people who this guy only watches when I tell him he's got to watch a match. When Walter and Ilya happened, I was like, hey, I know I haven't told you to watch a match in months. Check out this one match. And the dude's all like, holy shit. And then TakeOver 30 happened. I was like, I know it was not that long ago, but you got one more to watch. And he'll only watch those ones, the occasional pay-per-view. Sometimes he'll watch some of SmackDown or Raw till he's bored and turn it off. Legends Night kept this dude hooked, and the matches reeled him in, and they had a ball watching it last night. He was so excited to talk to me about it today. And I was all like, you know what? Whatever problems I had with it last night, I was wrong. Because he just said, I can't wait to see what happens next week. Yeah.
Nice.
Goes,
well, that's what that's what they're trying to do is reel in people from the past. Like, hey, you remember these guys? Now look at our new product. Check them out. And
That's
It's working.
huge for Raw.
Yeah. And then he even said, he goes, and Alexa, he goes, I haven't seen her since she's like gone to the dark side, but she's crazy. And I was like, yep. It was awesome, dude. It was awesome to see someone who's such a casual viewer be physically excited. Well, maybe that wasn't the right way to say it.
Boing.
What? It also worked because it was Randy Orton. So like, fire, 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 fire. So
Oh,
I guess
God.
producer wasn't a big fan of Beavis and Butthead, is what I found out.
That's terrible. I'm leaving. I quit.
You know what? Here's the thing, though. She's been calling you and me Beavis and Butthead for so long. It's like, how could she be surprised it eventually would break down to just Beavis and Butthead? She's like, this was the
My mom's
decline I
been
was
calling
regretting.
My mom's been calling us Beavis and Butthead since like 6th grade.
No. Producer's like, this is the decline I was hoping would never happen. I feared this from the first time I saw you two together.
We've reached it.
Yeah, full Beavis and Butthead dissolve. But it was really cool to see someone so excited and amped for Raw and talking about how cool Raw is. And I was like, dude, do you have any idea how many times after Raw I'm in group chat after group chat of why does Raw have to be this way? And it feels like constantly that Michael Scott gif where he's all like, I hate so much about the things that you choose to be. And you're like, and that's Raw every week. So
Yeah.
so this one was fun. And then that gave me the moment to step back and think about it in hindsight. And some of the stuff I wasn't thrilled with was still fun in its own way.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
I sat up straight, and that was regretful. Kev, I will say this, though. The show did open up with the New Day beating Miz and Morrison. It opened up with the Dirt Sheet thing, and then the New Day saying they were doing their own talk show called New Day Talks, which is funny. And the whole
I like
thing
that.
just
That's
dissolved
funny.
into the two of them, or the four of them, just trying to out-yell each other, and I had to turn the volume almost all the way down. And I stopped paying attention really early on. I've
Yeah.
loved so much of what the New Day has done over and over again, and think that everyone in that group is tremendous on the mic, great comedic timing, so funny. But I'll tell you, there's something that they are finding funny about yelling and being noisy that does not click with me. Because I'll tell you, the beginning of their podcast at this point, if I listen to any of their episodes of the podcast, I have to fast forward the first 4 to 5 minutes, because their intro now is just them trying to hold high-pitched noises, scream their names at each other, where the whole thing started before with them being high energy. Now it's just them trying to like out-annoy each other, like Dumb and Dumber style. And
So they're turning into the Street Profits.
yeah. Yeah.
Your description right now was making me think of the Prophets, and that's just there's only so much I can take, like yelling wise.
Yeah.
That's just anyone. I don't know. That's just me, but it needs to culminate to something pretty quick, or else you've just hurt my ears and annoyed me, and I'm gonna go find something else to do.
Yeah, there was a couple episodes there I just didn't listen to because the intro was that. Then I got to the point where I just started fast forwarding through the intro, and then it's good. Once they start talking and they're just their own personalities bouncing off each other, it's fantastic again, and it's poignant, and they say important things, and it feels like can't miss, and they have tremendous interviews. But it's like such a struggle for me to get through that intro. And this whole segment felt like one of those intros. Miz and Morrison are already annoying as shit. And here was the New Day trying to out-annoying them. And it was a battle I wasn't ready for.
I will say, I was excited about Miz and Morrison bringing Hey Hey Ho Ho back after they won the Kevy last week.
They did win the Kevy last week.
Their best musical performance.
I love that you're the only one that
It was
loves
hilarious
them.
that They referenced that. Their glasses said it on it. And I was like, we haven't heard this in months. They want next year's Kevy too.
I want to say, yeah, they're in the running. They're definitely top running right now. Keep your notes up to date now. There was like two or 3 weeks ago they had a match, and during it, or were they in a kickoff match and a pay-per-view? They were in something where you could hear Miz trying to say it on the ring apron for the first time in a long time, and I was like, are they starting to do that again? I bet you those glasses were almost ready and they totally forgot. I think, oh shit,
Yeah.
we're gonna have the glasses in like a week, and we haven't even been doing it. I did like Teddy Long coming out and telling Miz and Morrison they were going to have a match with The Undertaker.
That was awesome.
So good. And then WWE owner and
Hold on,
operator
players.
Adam Pearce comes out. Yeah, hold on, players. You're going to have a match with The Undertaker. And then Adam Pearce comes out and you can't do this. Just no. And he's like, oh,
He's in hell.
oh,
Okay.
yeah, my mistake. So good. That was actually really funny.
Yeah, I like that part a lot.
Did you like the H-phone stuff with Hogan in the beginning?
I thought it was cool that they opened with him, but I didn't get the whole H-phone thing. It can
It
tweet.
was weird.
It can be on Facebook. It can go on Instagram. You can also make a phone call with it.
Yeah.
I was like,
Which that one
Okay.
set off producer. When he said you can make a phone call, producer's like, who the fuck makes phone calls?
yeah,
Which is why
I'm out.
I thought the audience was the elderly. I was like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, she's like, this
One
is a
of
commercial
those-
for the jitterbug.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it was the jitterbug commercial, the big old buttons. Hogan's
Yeah.
like, they got buttons you can see and numbers that are.
Jitterbug.
But
He's like, check it out. You can bring the zoom all the way up. Mine already is, brother.
but it was like, it was just so corny that we were both laughing. So, I think it. There
Yeah,
you go.
probably were laughing at parts of it, I'm sure. It was weird, but it hooked my buddies. And my buddies were like, this is great. It's weird. They don't get it. And I was like, sometimes I think there are definitely things there that is not for us to get.
Yeah,
I think
it's just-
they knew. I think that was a great example of how the WWE knows what they're doing most of the time and people give them shit because they didn't like it. Not everything is for you, asshole. And you know what? A lot of times we as like, I don't want to say like obsessive wrestling fans, I think I might be going a little far. But like as like, as like major wrestling fans. Yeah.
What?
As everyone can look behind you and see all of these figures and memorabilia.
Zoom in, bringing us into a tight shot. Zoom it in.
And if you're listening, just know that this isn't like a setup in part of Marsha's house. This is actually part of just a regular space.
This is the living room. This is our living room fireplace. Well, you got to have examples for the audio listeners. Anybody listening on podcast, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's why you described it as a part of the house. Yeah. All right, well, it's the fucking living room.
Yeah,
Someone asked
it's
too.
that
I think it was
part.
TW. I think it was Bishop from TW Takes, some Terrible Wrestling Takes podcast. Was all like, dude, nice setup. Where do you just like have that in like part of the house is like your spare room? I was like, that's the living room. And he goes, what? I was like, we just popped up a table in the living room. He's like, that's insanity.
Yeah, normal people have it like, Sam Roberts has his basement. Other people have a corner of the house. We have the entire house.
Yeah, there's no reason to put all my cool stuff in the basement when we can live amongst it at all times.
Mm-hmm.
So
Why
yeah,
can't I just swim in it?
I think obsessive is a correct.
I'm
word
like
to
the Scrooge McDuck of collectibles. I just want to swim in a big vat of it all the time. But yeah, so I think that a lot of times we, as like the internet wrestling community, the obsessive forever fans, we want things to be a certain way, and we don't like it at all. We want to raise the pitchforks and say this is awful. How could you do this to us? Meantime, to the side is the casual fans yucking it up, saying this is the best part of the show. And you're like, okay, well, all right.
I remember this.
Yeah. Hogan's got a phone! No! Yeah. So it was good. It was good. I'll be honest, I was so drawn out of the opening segment that I didn't even really watch the New Day and Miz and Morrison match.
Love seeing Jimmy Hart. I was
Hart,
super excited.
Jimmy Hart and Hogan talking with Sheamus and
It
Drew.
was
I
good.
liked. What? I don't think he was talking about what we were talking about. Kev?
But no, I was just saying the Miz and Morrison New Day match was good. No different than any other match that they've put on.
I can't imagine it
Solid.
could have been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think our time. I think
I
our
do-
time is way off.
Like, I know you don't like Morrison.
Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
See.
I don't, I know you don't like Morrison, but watching him interview the New Day's questions when they were going back and forth, to me, I thought it was hilarious.
Good. For whatever reason, it's been getting so jokey. The jokes are not landing to me. Like, I'm just not finding a lot of the jokey stuff funny. You know what's funny though is 'cause you were in the chat, you saw a little bit. I posted a video that was posted on Twitter in our chat that was Bret Hart taking a Stone Cold Stunner, where he looks like he just dies. Looks like his head snaps and he's dead now. And you just go, oh shit, the Stunner's devastating. And then me and Clump had a talk back and forth about how he likes the Rock's sell of it, where he flips around and looks like a bowling pin and goes 10 feet in the
It's like
air
when-
first. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was like when you were a kid and you took your wrestling ring with a figure in it and just shook it. That's The Rock taking a stunner.
Yeah, but I mean, even as a kid, I remember liking how Vince took the Stunner, how Brett took the Stunner. I remember not liking The Rock taking the Stunner, but a lot of people look at that as like some of their favorite memories of The Rock and Stone Cold's rivalries when The Rock would take a Stunner and just flip around like a cartoon. I think a lot of that has just always stayed true to me, where the more realistic and severe it looks, the more I'm interested in it, and the more cartoonish it gets, the more drawn away from it I get.
Yeah.
So when we get stuff like Miz and Morrison that just becomes one big joke and they're acting like teenagers but they're in their fucking 40s, I just kind of check out. I go, all right, I'll wait for the serious stuff. And I also think that's okay. I don't think every segment on every single show has to be catered to me directly. I'm not sitting here screaming Miz and Morrison have to change. I'm saying Miz and Morrison's not for me. I'm glad that you are finding it very entertaining, because I'm sure there's going to be a segment later on at some point that I really like that you could have done without. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think I'd be interested in them splitting, honestly, just because I liked Miz a lot more before they teamed up, and I'm really curious to see Morrison just by himself. That's just me, though.
Yeah, I've lost interest in Morrison. If this is what he's going to be, this is his life now. Kev?
No, I agree with that, and I was disappointed when they brought Morrison back and just became Miz's sidekick, because I am 100% more invested in Morrison than I will be Miz probably ever. And I think Morrison's very athletic. He does a lot of interesting moves in there, and I think if they put him on a singles run, I think he could be, maybe not world title picture, but definitely US title picture.
Well, that's just it. Is I think Morrison coming in, seeing what he had done in other promotions, I thought definitely he could get to the world title picture. Now the world champions are a lot larger than they were when he first showed up, but I definitely thought that would be a place we would get to. And now it's like you said, I think that I wonder, it's like, well, is US even in his future? Like at this point, is this just what he's doing? It's really weird.
Part of me also wonders like what the talent wants too. Like I'm sure a lot of stuff we don't know, that who knows. I could see some people getting to a certain point where they're like, okay, well now I just want to have fun and then retire. So
yeah,
you never know.
A lot of people talk shit about Shinsuke and where he's at in his career and stuff, and he should be this, he should be that, but from what I see and hear in his interviews, I get the impression, and I don't know the guy, we're all just wildly guessing, are we not? I get the impression that he's really happy with the state of things in his career. That he likes that he can live in Florida. He can surf all the fucking time. He gets paid better than he's ever gotten paid before. And he doesn't have to go out there and kill himself and break his body down any more than he did before. Like, the dude used to put on brutal matches and put his body through a lot. Now it feels like he could kind of kick back a little bit. He still is a legitimate threat in the ring. He still knows what he's doing. He still puts on great matches when he does. But he doesn't have to kill himself every night, and he can kind of take it easy some nights too. Like, I don't know. It doesn't. I can't knock a guy who's gotten to that point in his career.
And wasn't it him that they kind of did a behind the scenes, and he was saying how much he loved being in Florida because he's so close to his family and stuff like that? Because doesn't he have a younger son? And he's like, hey, I'm, here for him and stuff like that. And, yeah, I mean, we hope they're all happy, obviously, but
That's true.
Who knows?
Yeah, but I do think that we can't always just shit all over everything that we don't 100% agree with because we don't know the whole story. So we have to take it in as what we want. And it is easy and I think appropriate to say, I wish we were getting Nakamura matches like he had in New Japan. I can be on board with someone saying that, but I don't like when people start saying the creative's fucking up and they're ruining everything about him and stuff like that. And like, well, if he's happy, then that's not the case,
Yeah.
It's okay to long for other matches, but come on.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kev.
And at the end of the day, as long as the talent's happy, give a shit what the wrestling case.
Yeah, no, caught up. He said stuff and then caught up.
Did I get nothing out from that?
No, you sounded
I got it.
really robotic. I didn't understand any of that.
I understood all of it because I speak robot. I'm in tech.
All right.
Kev, we also got, let's see, the 24/7 championship, R-Truth beating Angel Garza. Garza won it on TikTok. And then Garza was trying to fuck Tori Wilson and Nikki Cross, but mostly Tori Wilson. And then Tori said, hey, how about you go try to fuck Ariana Grande and Cardi B? They're in that other room. So he goes in there, and it's Boogeyman. And then Cardi B on Twitter said, yo, what's going on? My notifications are blowing up with WWE stuff right now. It was hysterical to be on Twitter last night.
Yeah, she was all over the place, and then she started saying how she grew up watching Eddie, and yeah, it was pretty good.
Kev?
I can't stand that woman.
Cardi B?
Yeah.
Well, her Twitter's still funny when she doesn't know what's going on. I like that they made a
I don't
comment
think
about
she
it, and
knows
she's
what-
all like,
I don't think she knows what's going on ever.
that is in general. You're like, it wasn't a different state.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. I like the idea of them saying something and somebody checking their Twitter and being like, why is there a bunch of WWE stuff on my feed all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah.
You're part of the show now. And then Garza tries to fuck Mickey James, and Sergeant Slaughter says, how about you give me one of thems? He tries to bang it with Alicia Fox. I don't like this Garza thing, man. Him trying to go around like The Bachelor, and I get it because they had that one girl from The Bachelor on the one time. So now he's walking around with his rose trying to bang everybody. We did see him propose to his wife on national TV also.
He's like the male Lacey Evans. That's which also I don't find interesting. Like these characters aren't really much.
The difference is Lacey Evans' character is banging for a spot. She's banging for a title shot. She's banging to be around Ric Flair. She's banging for the spotlight. Angel Garza is trying to bang it out for notches in his bedpost, I believe. He's just trying to bang it out all the time because he's not in matches. So he's like, I guess this is what I'll do. Which doesn't make sense. I don't like either one of their stories. Kev, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was weird him just going around and being like, ooh, Legends Night. Let's see how many cougars I can get. And yeah, it was just weird. It's weird that he's in the 24/7 title picture, and truthfully, I mean, I still like what Truth is doing with it, but I'm like over it. It needs to be something else.
Here's the thing. Guess what my buddies from work said last night?
They love the 24/7 title.
They loved the 24/7 title thing. They're like, it's so funny that guy was going around giving out roses, and then the boogeyman jumps out, and then that dude comes out of nowhere, rolls him up, and takes off with it. It's hysterical. And I was all like, oh, God.
Okay, well, at least someone loved it.
They didn't. They clearly didn't catch the part where they said, "Oh, this is Truth's 275th title run now."
Yeah, we've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these rare viewers haven't, so.
I know. I was so pissed because I was like, you're right. The first couple times you see it, it's hysterical. I can't knock you for that. But we've seen this 149 times.
Yeah.
And at some point, I miss Serious Truth. I know he's hilarious, but I'd really love to see a Serious Truth because I know he can still go, and I don't know how long he has left, but
He doesn't need to be full on serious, but I do miss actual R-Truth matches. At this point, we only get these gimmick roll-ups, these little cheap laughs and stuff, and I do think that he's someone who's capable of telling a deeper story than that. And I think that he's someone who can be a lot more than just a dude who sits on a whoopee cushion effectively. And I do miss seeing him have outright full-on matches with people and being just blown away by what he can do. Because every time, he's never let us down.
yeah, I'm not saying he needs a belt or I just think I know he's amazing. And I always miss seeing that full potential.
Yeah. Kev?
Yeah. I miss Truth matches because he does stuff in the matches that obviously we haven't seen anywhere else, and so I've always been a fan of Truth. I want to see more of him, but at the same time, can you knock the guy for working 15 seconds a week?
Nope.
And collecting a paycheck?
I think he's having a fucking hell of a time. He thinks it's hysterical. I also think he's the type of dude who's so grateful that he views what he's doing as a part of the show. And as long as you're in the show, then things are good. And I do also think that Vince McMahon thinks that R-Truth is the funniest human being on the planet. I think that all those are true. And I don't think that any of those is a bad take. I think that no one makes Vince laugh like R-Truth. And so I think that he puts R-Truth on every single show to make him laugh. And I think R-Truth knows that he can make everybody laugh, and he does it, and he loves being a part of the show. He loves that when he gets there, they say, we got this one little spot for you. It's going to be hysterical. And he's, all right, boss, I'm going to do it. I think they all love it. I miss R-Truth matches. That's all I'm saying.
I actually would really love to see, and I know it's a different show, but I'd love to see him and Jeff Hardy, just because I know that Jeff Hardy said on his documentary that he wants to have a story with R-Truth. He's never worked with him, and I just think if that's your retirement run, man, I hope he gets to work with him.
That's true. On Chronicle, Jeff Hardy said he wanted to work with R-Truth, and he said never had, and he would love to. But it's also not a different show. I mean, this is the show with Matt Riddle, so we got the Hardy Bros. You know what I mean? This show actually had Jeff and Matt in matches, or Riddle, I should say. So R-Truth easily could be a part of that. I'd much rather see Jeff Hardy team up with R-Truth and do some cool stuff than the Hardy Bros, as they've been calling themselves. Kev?
They need to all three be together.
Oh, my God.
Just meet in the middle.
The 24/7 Bros?
Yeah.
Although then R-Truth would call in the 7-Eleven Bros.
Yeah. Or they can just be the truthful Hardy Bros. I don't know.
Ugh. Stop. This is why I drink. All right. Well,
This
it
is
was
it.
fun
This
to
is
see
the
it.
reason.
The stuff did make me laugh. I did like seeing Sergeant Slaughter. So this is when I start to get into the point where I start wondering, what are the legends doing in general? Because I thought they used them well, yes, but I also thought they underutilized them significantly. Almost none of them spoke.
Yes.
Sergeant Slaughter spoke. Tatanka just stood there. Tori Wilson told Garza to go fuck himself, and that was kind of it. You had Alicia Fox use a couple lines. You had Mickie James mute. Mickie James is arguably no disrespect to the women on any of these shows, but I think Mickie James is a better talker than any woman on NXT and any woman on Raw. I think she's a better talker than both of those shows. I don't know if she's one of the best talkers on SmackDown, but I think on Raw, definitely. NXT, yes. Why would you not have her say something?
Yeah, that's just so weird to me. I miss Mickie James.
Yeah. People were asking if this means that she's retired. I don't think it does. I think it just means that they showed a level of respect for her. But something that she's always done when she's shown up for these types of things is she shows up and she looks great. And you go, she looks like someone who can still go. And I think that's huge. You know what I mean? It's not like some of the legends where you see them and you go, oh, yeah, they're definitely retired. You see Mickie James and you go, yeah, she could be in the ring tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She should be. Kev, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I definitely think that they underutilize a lot of the legends, and I don't like that they, like Ron Simmons, Farouk. He's in the same legend spot almost every single Legends episode. He just comes in, yells "damn," and I know that was his thing for a while. But that's not who he was. Bradshaw obviously wasn't there. I liked when they did a poker thing with them, a few shows back.
That was fun.
And I think when you're seeing, to me, this almost felt like when it came to the legends, it felt like a rerun where they're all in the same similar spots, it seemed like.
Yeah.
And I think, obviously don't mix it up. Yeah, you can have Farouk say damn, but I'm done with him saying damn. Just show him doing something.
Yes, he could do so much more, but the problem is he doesn't hold back at all. He's 100% in. You can see him, the way he was acting, building up towards the dam was so funny. Mm-hmm. And to me, the other thing that's hysterical is he's always wearing that shirt that just says damn. And then he's not saying anything. You know what else my buddy said? He goes, I don't remember his name, but when that dude was out there, and he just stands there for a minute and then goes, damn. He's like, it's hysterical. He goes, we died, man. We just died. We laughed forever. And I was all like,
you know what? I'm not liking your buddy anymore.
That's what I'm saying, is all the things that he was bringing up. I was going, seriously, right on it?
But, like I said, I know Farouk's thing was damn, and he would say that often. But that's almost like defining his entire WWE run at this point.
I know,
because that's all he does with his Legends thing. Like I said, there was that one time where they did like a poker match in the back, and I was like, cool, this, like the APA style, like this is great. This is awesome. I wanted, outside of the whole awkward Ric Flair thing, I wanted more of them to be interacting in the ring and, even going down to watch the match, commentating, do other things.
Yeah, there was a lot of weirdness around it. I mean, you brought up a good point earlier when you had messaged me and you said people who were advertised but did not appear. Beth Phoenix, Candice Michelle, Carlito, Eve Torres, Hillbilly Jim, Ivory, Jacqueline, Kurt Angle, Michael P.S. Hayes. I feel like there was one or two more that we're not listing here. But all those people were announced and they just didn't even show up. And then when they did show up, the people who did show up, they used them in really weird, isolated areas.
Yeah, and even like, I text you because on the main event, they showed Booker T and Jeff Jarrett. And I was like, did I miss their spot? Like, I don't remember seeing them. And then we looked it up and it was like, no, they just were out there for that.
Yeah.
Like Jeff Jarrett should have been in the Elias spot. Have Jeff Jarrett go down with Elias for the match against AJ. And what's his name, Riker? Like, that would have been great. I think every match should have had a legend commentator on it.
Yeah, just around.
Yeah. How great would it have been to hear Jimmy Hart commentating during a match again?
Dude, it would have been so good. Jimmy Hart's so good, too, dude. When he started talking to Sheamus, come on, baby.
Yeah,
yes.
Come on. Yeah.
Dude, he's my favorite. When we were at the last SmackDown we were at before COVID, decided to do its thing, have its run. Championship run, by the way. We were there, and Or was it the Raw before? No, it was that SmackDown. It was like a Legends thing, and it was building up towards. Oh no, this was the Raw weeks before that. It was months before. So we were at one of the Raws that was leading up towards the Hogan and Flair matchup, and they had a little
the Saudi
match.
Arabia.
Yeah, it was leading up towards that, and this was the first night of the new set, and Jimmy Hart was ringside while they were doing the match because Hogan was out there like scouting for the team and stuff, and we were rows back, and you could just hear Jimmy Hart the whole time. Come on, baby, come on, kick out, come on, baby, you got this. Oh yeah, hitting the ring. Come on, come on. Yeah. Don't worry, man. You'll get him, baby. Shake it off. Shake it off, baby. That's him, man. I love it.
Nailed it. Should have grabbed the megaphone when you did that.
It doesn't have batteries in it, dude.
No, it's probably for the best though.
Yeah.
There's no batteries in it.
Yeah, that was a strategic decision. That was no accident.
Yeah. But the other thing when you were going on your montage there that I thought about is I don't think we heard any of the Legends entrance music. I think we heard Teddy Long's, right?
We heard Teddy Long, and we heard the one at the end that we'll get to, but that was it.
Oh yeah. He's back.
I don't even think we heard Hogan's. He was doing the whole fucking H-phone commercial and No Real American playing.
Yeah. And I wonder if that just had something to do with, obviously, the audience. Because if the audience was there, you'd hear the dan, 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 and...
You know why they probably didn't have Real American for the H-phone? Shit's assembled in China.
Yeah. Probably. It would have been... But how great would it have been during the whole H-phone thing if it started ringing and that was the ringtone?
Yes, I was waiting for something.
Yeah, like that, like, yeah, and it even makes phone calls, brother.
Yeah,
fuck yeah, go for it.
Yeah, and then the music starts playing. He goes, "That's not my ringtone. That's my alarm. I gotta take my pills, brother. Take your vitamins."
Yeah.
He pulls out his
Take
little,
your vitamins.
medicine one with the days on it. He's like,
It would have been great.
I'm having an all right time, guys. If you guys are listening on the podcast or watching live, WrestlingOnTheRocks.com, you can find all of our links. I'm just letting you know. We do want to just be your drinking buddy. We're not here to try and, change your whole world here. We just want to be a buddy.
Yes.
Kev, AJ Styles versus Elias, though, that match was really fucking good, dude.
Yeah. Once
the
again,
end of it,
you
where
put two
almost
top
kicked
talent.
that. Yeah. You forget how good Elias is and how jacked he is, and then every time he comes out, he looks bigger and bigger. Jackson was coming out with his legs so big he was waddling almost. I was like, fuck. And then almost comes out and just fucking kicks a guitar straight out of his hand in one of the most perfectly timed weapon spots I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Elias could be like Mania main event.
Yeah, you've been drooling over Elias for quite some time.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
He's no Ricochet, but...
Yeah, he ain't no Ricochet, but he'll get the job done. Goddamn. Yeah, no, she's been saying for years that she doesn't understand why he's not at a main event level. Like, I mean, he's got the
we've
look,
all
he's got
been
the
saying
skill.
that. Like,
Yeah.
We've mentioned it several times, but I'll never forget the time when he just jumped up to the top rope. You were over at my house. We just looked at each other. We're like, "Holy fuck, that was amazing!"
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see that rewind? Oh my god, he just based up like top rope. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. Yeah, and then almost kicked that fucking guitar.
Yeah,
dude, that was so
awesome
perfectly
timing.
timed. I watched the replay on that 100 times. I'm like, how did they fucking time that right? And then Jackson's fucking look on his face was so good. He was like, fuck. And you're like, you're goddamn right. I do like this slow play with Omos. I do think it's a good slow play. They're building towards something where he's going to be a fucking absolute monster in the ring at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he never will. I don't know.
We just never see him again. He's just gone.
Well, he might just always be a manager type, and I don't think that's a bad spot either. Terrible Wrestling Takes coming through the chat. What's up? What's up, Bishop?
Cheers.
Cheers.
This drink's for
Miss,
you.
we talked about you earlier, so you don't get any more shout-outs.
Yeah,
We're
that's
hitting
it.
our limits.
You gotta start paying us.
He's doing the watch-alongs. He's taking over where we left off. He's doing watch-alongs now, so
Nice.
it's all right. What are we gonna do? We can't do
Maybe.
if we can't drink
Maybe
and eat, forget it.
A dual branded watch along.
Well, we could dual brand it at some point here.
Yeah.
Definitely something.
Yeah, it's like
definitely
AEW
something
and
to do. Crossover.
Impact.
Oh, it'll be like Impact. I'll show up with my Wrestling on the Rocks title. I'll be waiting in a bus outside of his house. I'll be like, I'm not going in there.
I'm not going in there. That'd be so hilarious.
Yeah.
He just looks out his window. What the fuck is
Then
doing
what
here?
happens? Well, yeah. I mean, why is there a fucking bus out front? And then like he just sees an Instagram post of me just being like, I'm not fucking going in there. And then I'll make him tune into our show the next week where I'll just say the same thing again.
Yeah.
Kev, I don't have a lot else to say about Styles and Elias other than I was just so good. All of it was so good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Good.
Good.
What the fuck? This is missing shit, man. Oh my god, we're not in order here. It's all right. It's all right. Oh, what the fuck is this?
Is there any order
Okay.
on Wrestling on the Rocks? No order.
Order up.
No order, just odor.
That's right. We are an odor first. Okay, we'll just get into this one. Fuck it. Lacey Evans, Peyton Royce defeating Charlotte Flair and Asuka. This whole match, Lacey's trying to fuck Rick. Charlotte keeps saying, "Don't fuck my dad, bro." And she's like, "I'll do it." And her dad's all like, "She will."
Do it.
And Charlotte's like, "Dad, go." He's like, I hear you. But the thing is, I'm green lights all the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lacey Evans got that fast pass for Space Mountain. Charlotte Flair keeps saying, "Please don't fuck my dad. Dad, don't fuck her." And they're both like, "Whatever. Go to your room."
Whatever. You're grounded.
Yeah. If it happens, it happens. Or you could just not try. I don't know about that.
And
How
let's
the
be
whole
honest,
thing
it's
plays
probably
out.
not. Yeah. Let's be honest, it's not the first time that Rick has probably been with somebody his kid's age.
Glad producer doesn't have her headphones on right now.
I'm right here.
Yeah, well, it's too late. It's yeah. Good luck over there. So here's the deal. Also, then Ric Flair turns babyface and trips Charlotte Flair, knocks her face first into the ground. Peyton Royce gets the pin. Now Peyton Royce officially has a pinfall win over Bayley and Charlotte Flair. Peyton Royce on her way up while Lacey's on her way down. Kev?
Heyo.
What did you think of Ric Flair turning full-on babyface and tripping Charlotte Flair, getting a big old pop out of me, screaming "Hey-o" as dude? I was so excited. I was like, "Yes!"
I liked it. It was funny, and then Charlotte does the whole "Get out of here, Dad! Leave me alone, Dad!" And that was annoying because it's like we've done this, and
dude, for reals though, I felt the same way. Where I was like, "What the fuck ever," but a lot of people were all like, "Okay." That whole thing turned around once Charlotte Flair started screaming. Then I was really into it. She's amazing. And I was like, oh, my God. That was what was drawing me back out.
Yeah. And then I was also going to bring up when Lacey and Charlotte were fighting on the outside. It reminded me of playing a video game. And you and your buddy choose the same character with just different clothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, who... Like, for a second there, like, I walked away, came back, and just saw them fighting. I'm like, oh, wait, shit, which one's which?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
But like I don't know. I'm like, this whole segment raised more questions than it did, answer anything, because, is Charlotte heel again? She's yelling at her dad again.
Yeah.
And then her promo before the match, oh my God. I wanted to throw up.
What was she saying before? Was I just not listening?
They asked her about the Royal Rumble. They're like,
Oh,
how do you feel
yeah.
about the Royal
Oh,
Rumble? What advice
fuck.
do you have? Oh, last year I went in as an underdog. I was like, what the? This is the
Yeah.
most blatant, like, we saw
She's-
it, like, oh, Charlotte's in it, she's going to win it this year because she came so close last year. And she, has to one-up everybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was,
She's really sticking to this underdog story, which we saw in her documentary that's on the network.
Yeah.
But the whole time that I was watching this, I felt really bad because I was like, well, what's happening with Asuka?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm so interested in Asuka having a title, and I just feel like she's getting lost.
Yeah, Asuka's completely lost in the shuffle, and Charlotte Flair's trying to push this underdog story that's never been her story. Fucking forget it. Can't you just, like... It just comes off as delusional to me. The fact that she said that she wasn't a favorite and she was the underdog in Rumble. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I don't even read the dirt sheets. 100% of the people said Charlotte Flair's winning this year. That was never a question. No one at any point picked anyone besides Charlotte to win last year in the Rumble. And the year before, the reason Becky got such a huge pop, well, one of the reasons, is because everyone thought it was going to be Charlotte. Because Charlotte's always the favorite. And when Becky won the Rumble, when she was literally at the height of her career, the most popular person in the entire industry, on covers of magazines that never had wrestlers on it before, on TV shows, she beat Charlotte, and it was still a fucking upset. And Becky had been otherwise undefeated apart from that one. Asuka lost that same night, and she went in there injured and shit. She was still the ultimate underdog because Charlotte is such a favorite. What are you talking about? No one picked you. They pick you every year.
Yeah.
And always it's like, well, it's Charlotte or this other person. What are you talking about?
Yeah. You know, the thing that scares me is Charlotte's going to win it again this year.
I know. I wonder.
They're gonna have her win it. Oh, who is she gonna pick? Oh, maybe Asuka. Yeah, because that's where you're laying it out. And then, oh wait, look, Charlotte's a two-time women's Royal Rumble champion.
Yep. Got as many first times as they can give her, they're going to do it. The other thing is that Charlotte Flair will never not be in the bottom four. The final four will always have Charlotte.
Yeah.
Because she's a favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time she's towards that end, everyone thinks it's a real possibility. And anyone who wins who's not her is an upset. So I don't understand this crazy underdog narrative she's pushing. It comes off as complete insanity. And she said it in her documentary, The Chronicle. She said it on Raw Talk. She even said it finally on the commentary. She said, Asuka had nothing to prove going into WrestleMania. Yeah. I had everything to prove. And I was like, are you fucking out of your mind? Asuka wasn't even on the main roster for a year. And all she had was the streak. And the only win she had was against Jobbers and Emma.
Yeah. So,
no.
Jobbers, like you said.
You're telling me. And then Charlotte had 9 title reigns and every single fucking title and won all the goddamn time. What do you mean you had nothing to... It literally just halted all of Asuka's momentum for almost a year before we started seeing Asuka back in the title picture.
Mm-hmm.
And where was Charlotte during that whole time? And the time before? And every year before that? Always in the title picture. Where do you come off with this crazy narrative of you being this underdog who has everything to prove? Just be your dominant self. That's not impressive enough? You can't also be an underdog and be the Yankees. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. And even before when, she kept saying, she wasn't using her dad's name and stuff like that. And when she was a heel, she was like, oh, I'll be the dirtiest player in the game now, taking it over from her dad. Use that as your advantage. Go with that. We understand the reason why you're Charlotte Flair is because you're Ric Flair's daughter.
Yeah.
You know, everyone knows that. For you to sit there and keep saying, once again, now she denounces her dad, and I was like, well, fuck. I hope Rick starts showing up in Lacey's corner at this point.
Oh, that'd be good. And his shirt's always kind of untucked.
Yeah, wrinkled.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I just don't understand this crazy narrative of that she's this ultimate underdog that she's trying to push because she's never been the underdog ever. And I think that that's also fine. You don't have to always be the underdog to have a good story. You're impressive already. You already have all of the accolades.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
it's the people who watch Bad News Bears and doesn't realize that the other teams are... You can't cheer for the other team when they win. Like when Patriots freaked out because they won against the Chiefs that one year. They're like, oh my God, we did it. No one, and they're like, oh, people are hating. You're the team that the underdog goes up against. You winning is another win. You're the bad guys here. You know what I mean? And that's also fine. Be a dominant team. You're a legendary team. Charlotte's legendary. But you're not also the underdog. That doesn't even make sense. The Bulls in the 90s weren't the underdogs. Sorry. What the fuck?
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, if they took like what's her name? Carmella's, like gimmick right now, like, oh, you had to earn it, I was given it, and put that on Charlotte, that's who Charlotte is.
Yes.
Carmella's gimmick and character is Charlotte.
Yes.
And
in so many ways, that's true.
Yeah. And it's like, like I said, I wanted to excuse me. I wanted to throw up when I heard her saying, they're like, oh, I was an underdog last year, blah, blah, blah. Like, what? Why? Who? No one has ever painted her as an underdog. And for her to keep pushing, like, oh, look at, I've had to scratch and claw my way to the top, and I was an underdog. You're not Daniel Bryan. If you're trying to get some Daniel Bryan love, you're not anywhere close, and no one's buying it. Yeah. Except for maybe your buddy that watches one Raw a year.
R-Truth did say that Carmella's really smart. So Carmella probably was like, well, if she's not going to use this angle, hell, I'm using it. So good on Carmella.
Exactly. Yeah. We watched a special on the network. There was the Break It Down series. R-Truth had one, and he really put over The Miz and Carmella in it, and it was really nice to hear him talk about those people so nice. But, like you said, you're not the Daniel Bryan story, and that's okay. You can be the John Cena story. You can be the Randy Orton story. That doesn't
the
make
Randy
you
Orton, exactly.
lesser than.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be the Randy Orton. Like, why are you trying to be Becky? Be Charlotte. You're the most dominant, feared woman in the business. Because no one can beat you. Because you're that damn good. Because it's in your genes. Because you're born to conquer. Your literal new shirt. And you're like, and I barely could get it. I was the fucking, no, everyone rooted against me. You're born to conquer. Queen, wear your fucking crown and be proud of it. Yeah. It's weird that you're twisting it. Takes is in the chat. He says it's tone deaf because she was given the spot and acts like she has to go through the mud to get there. I mean, yeah. I can't argue with that. No. Can't argue with that. I mean, and it feels that way. Let's say that she wasn't. Let's say she was sitting in front of us and she says, you have no idea how hard I had to work. You're right. But the show that we see is you getting it. The show that we get is Vince McMahon saying, Charlotte Flair, she stays in her lane. You know what I mean? Like that's the presentation we're given. So yes, you're right. Charlotte probably works much harder than we all give her credit for. She's probably way more in tune on the backside of things than we are aware of. And that's not what we're talking about. Because I'm not trying to shit on the person. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying the character specifically.
Well,
the producer has something she wants to say.
And I kind of turned to Marsh and I was like, well, Natty works just as hard too. So what is the difference? Because Natty comes from a legendary family as well. So why are they so different?
My thought was, I wasn't going to say it on the show, but here we are. I felt like that Natty's wired about building the business where Charlotte's wired with a background about staying on top of the business. It's the Flair versus the Hart family. You know what I mean? Stu Hart never had to be champion 100 times. He just had to make sure that the next champion was somebody that he trained. You know, and I feel like that's what's in Natty's blood. Where I feel like Ric Flair was, how do I stay on top and be on top forever? And that's what's in Charlotte's blood. Whether that's just canon or kayfabe or whatever word we want to pretend we know because we're all, quote, in the business. That was kind of the narrative I took from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. And it's like, I just don't get why she just doesn't embrace. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, Charlotte, you work hard. I'm willing to bet 99% of the roster works hard. You know,
That's true.
Do you have to work harder to prove that, hey, I'm not just Ric Flair's daughter, I'm my own person? Maybe. But at the same time, like you said, just be you. You know, not many people come back and immediately have a title shot, you know, whether it's tag team or not. And, you know, you come back and you're in it.
Yeah, and she can try to paint that as an underdog story too.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to make a return after 6 months and win the title right away. As soon as she showed up, everyone went, oh, I guess this is where Charlotte gets her Grand Slam then. And you'd said it weeks before because you're a dick. I'm like, who could it be? And you're like, well, obviously it's Charlotte. She's going to come in and win that fucking title. And you're just like, fuck! Stop it! We're trying to have fun here! You can pick up our Pointless Aggression t-shirts at prowrestlingtees.com/wrestlingontherocks.
Or in a unique opportunity that we will talk about later, once we're done talking about Raw.
Sure. I'm into it.
Sure, why not?
Let's do it. So, yeah, I agree. Charlotte needs to lean into what her character's being presented as because she has never been presented as an underdog, literally ever. And when Asuka went in to lose that match, she was painted as an underdog against the standing champion, and Asuka had everything to prove and got dominated by Charlotte. No, your story does not pan out. On the backside of things, backstage, whatever you as a person had to do or get through may all be relevant to that underdog story that you probably truly feel in your heart. However, what we see, what we're presented with as fans who are just watching as observers and not contributors, that's not at all the story we have. We have no idea what the fuck you're talking about right now. What are you talking about? Someone who knows her lane and stays in it. Charlotte Flair. That's my Vince.
No, was that Vince?
No, that's my Vince. It's my rambling rabbit. We can move on. That was a lot more about Charlotte than I intended it to be, but you decided to spoil the whole mood of the show.
That's what I do.
I know, it's kind of
the mood killer.
Yeah, that was good. It explained our
Speaking of killing things,
thoughts.
I'm a little pissed off Randy Orton didn't kill a legend.
All right, we can jump to there. I was going to hit up. Let's do this. We'll go to that in just a second because I was definitely there. I just want to say Riddle and Bobby Lashley was fucking brutal and awesome. And the first 3 minutes of this match, I was like, holy shit. This is what happens when you have two double tough son of a bitches, as Bruce Pritchard likes to say on his show. You got a couple of double tough sons of bitches in the ring who knows they can take a fucking punch because it's what they do for fun, who go in there and say, what do you say we stop playing around and just beat the shit out of each other for a while before we get started? And they go, yeah, why not? Yeah. And then they do that. This was fucking insane to watch. So good, dude. So good. I was saying it before with Walter and Ilya, with Sheamus and Big E, Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor. This is where I'd like to see the business get to. These hard-hitting guys who know how to do it and do it safely, who don't mind going home with a couple of bruises. If that's where the business ends up going, strong style, motherfuckers, then, yeah, God, this match was so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is what I've been saying about Matt Riddle.
Drew with a couple of those.
Oh, yeah.
And I love when the women do the same thing, too. Is there a couple strong women that were more strong women that we're seeing?
Who do you got in mind?
I'm thinking Mandy.
Mandy's got some stiff shots. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Kev, tell me what you saw here, because this has been the topic of conversation. This has been
Around the water cooler. This is what we
around the old cooler.
Oh my
Trubler.
god, you're already drunk. Okay.
Kev,
Yes, sir.
take it away. I'm just kidding. The end of the match. So Matt Riddle taps out. Now he kicks up over the ref. The ref has to go around. Matt Riddle taps out. Bobby Lashley lets go of the hold. MVP jumps up on the ring. The ref runs over to MVP, says, "Get the hell down, scram." And then Matt Riddle rolls up Bobby Lashley because the ref goes, "Match isn't over, fool." And then he gets the win. So
Stupid.
the topic being, did Matt Riddle tap out because he was quitting? Or did he outsmart Bobby Lashley? Because so far as I saw, as far as commentary was concerned, it looked like Matt Riddle just tapped out and got lucky. But the argument I heard being positioned by Sam Roberts, and I thought it was a brilliant argument, if only I saw it the same way at the time, was that Matt Riddle, knowing he was in a really bad place because that fucking full Nelson is impossible to break, sees the ref, kicks over the ref to make the ref scramble, and when he knew he was out of position, tapped on Bobby Lashley because he knew Bobby Lashley would think the match is over, let go, and thus outsmarted Bobby Lashley and got the win. So then it's a dumb character who's doing outsmarting of perceived smart characters, which makes for a clever thing.
Yes.
Is that how you saw it?
I want to see it like that. Yes.
That's not the answer. No.
No, like I want to see it like that, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because, yes, it looks great. Riddle kicks over the ref dodges, he taps, Bobby lets him go. The problem I have with that is that if Riddle did that on purpose, he's got a lot riding on the line, considering Bobby Lashley never lets go when somebody taps.
Yeah, that's why it makes it kind of a wild card thing to do. I will try.
Exactly. Yeah. So, hey, I'm going to tap. Oh, he let go? Holy shit. Okay, cool. I have this. Yeah, I think he got lucky more than, hey, he did this on purpose. Because, like I said, how many times have we seen Bobby Lashley, when somebody taps, immediately lets him go, let alone when the bell rings, lets him go?
That's a great point. That even if he was trying to outsmart Bobby Lashley, it still hangs on him getting lucky.
Yeah.
He either got lucky because the ref was out of position, or he was getting real lucky if Bobby was going to let go or not, because he does not have a history of letting go. That's a great point. It's a great point.
That's where
Sam
I'm at
Roberts
with
should
that.
listen to our show.
Exactly. Sam Roberts, take it from me.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Splinter Fox, thanks for coming through. We haven't seen you in a while. Cheers to Splinter Fox. Keep going, Kev.
Yeah, cheers. Like, I want to see him, like I said, I want to see it that way because I think that'd be great. It could move the storyline, and I want that. Like, I like Riddle. I'm a big fan of Riddle. But, like I said, how many times do we see Bobby Lashley let go as soon as somebody taps?
Yeah.
I think this might be the first time.
Yeah, this might be the first time. So I agree. I think that in the event that he wasn't just getting lucky, he still ultimately had to get lucky for that to work.
Yes.
Which I think is smart. I think it's a smart call out. So at that point, does the narrative matter? If the or if the commentary says, "Oh, he outsmarted Bobby," from our history standpoint, he still had to get lucky that Bobby would even let go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember when Bobby started using what do they call it? The Hurt Lock, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, I don't know when he started it, but if people go back, I'm willing to bet more times than not he did not let go when A, the person tapped out, or B, the bell was even wrong.
That's true. He definitely didn't when it first started.
Yeah.
I call it the Grabby Bobby, not the Hurt Lock, but I think it's Hurt Lock.
Yeah.
Oh,
the Grab Your Bobby?
The Grabby Bobby. Splinter Fox does say in the chat, so Riddle is facing Bobby now. Interesting. Haven't seen a WWE show since November. Yeah, they had a match.
Well, we're sorry to spoil it for you.
Yeah. Well, sorry, you know the end now. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a fantastic match.
Splitter Fox left the chat. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
As a just casual, I think casual viewer of riddles, because I'm not a huge fan. I thought he was just lucky.
Yeah.
And that's just me. Just because of what I've seen of Bobby, I'm like, oh no, he's so dominant, he's so strong. Like, and I'm sorry, but Riddle's always painted as just this kind of goofy, high character. So there's nothing that leads me to believe that he's smarter than, everyone else.
Yeah,
Like,
I will
that's just
say,
me.
from the standpoint of if he got lucky, he did take advantage very well of getting lucky.
Mhm.
So there's that aspect. If it was just luck on either side, he did take advantage of it well. And there's something to be said for that, taking advantage of the right opportunities. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it was in which way did he get lucky?
Yeah.
Fucking Riddle. But it was a great match, fantastic match. Let's see, Dana
I love
Brooke
him.
beat Shayna Baszler. That was kind of weird, man. I mean, so Mandy Rose is coming out. She's got new gear. She looks good. Shayna Baszler beats the shit out of her, and then Dana Brooke comes out in street clothes and then goes, "Come out! Come out!" And they have a match. And then Dana Brooke wins in like a minute. Now, I get also, like, I think Shayna was trying to show an edge of I care more about hurting you than I do about winning. Because at no point did she not have that choke locked in. Dana was just able to twist it into a pinning predicament that Shayna just didn't give a shit about. Because I think that in the mentality of the Shayna Baszler character, she was just there to hurt Dana, and the match was just there to get Dana in the ring. Like, it didn't matter to her. I mean, if she cared, if she fucking cared, she wouldn't have attacked Mandy to begin with.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly how I feel, especially with the ending, because didn't the ref like, oh, her shoulders aren't down, and she just kept it for a 3 count? She just wanted to choke her out.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like, and I hope they address that next week. Like, hey, I don't care if I took a loss to you. I was still choking you. Like, who really won here? And then obviously Mandy came in with that knee, but
yeah.
Like, I hope they address that and like, hey, I didn't care about the win. We had nothing on the line, and I'm just glad I kept.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's a huge part of it. That's how I took it. So I didn't mind, but I did see there were some people who were upset. Oh wow, Shayna's winning like that. It's like, okay, well,
Shayna's losing like that.
Oh, Shayna's losing like that. Yeah.
It didn't make me think that Shayna was any weaker, honestly. I just thought, oh, finally, because Dana is so strong.
It's true.
And so I like seeing that.
It gives Dana some nice momentum, but it also gives Shayna a meaner edge. If Shayna stops giving so many shits about winning matches and just starts getting back to the point where I just want to hurt you, I think it's kind of a win-win in that scenario, to be honest. I don't think you have to win every match. I mean, we've heard it all in all those podcasts, right? We've heard Stone Cold say it.
Wasn't that her thing in NXT?
Cornette. We're just breaking people's arms, yeah.
Wasn't?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and weren't the fans chanting "Shayna's gonna kill you"?
Yeah, Shayna's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they said that shit.
So
about
they just go.
They said that about Kari
Yeah,
saying
they
to
did.
people, "Kari's gonna kill," and you're like, "Oh, come on, relax."
Oh, I thought they were making fun of Kari when they said that.
Oh, what are you, Vince?
Yes.
Well, Vince with the Rusev Day thing was like, they're making fun of you, and he's like, I think they're happy about it though. I mean, we've heard it a bunch of times, like Stone Cold, Cornette, Bruce, Jim Ross. Anybody who digs in deep to old wrestling stuff will talk about how important it is and how good it is to lose a match and get over in that match. And I felt like that Shayna did that relatively here. Like, she lost the match, but she looked more vicious than she did going into it. She just beat the shit out of somebody so much that they squeezed out a win, but it was like, I don't care. I don't care. Take the win. I'm going to hurt you.
Yeah.
My win-loss record means nothing to me. I bite people in the fucking neck, and I'm going to choke you out. Yeah. That's what it looked like to me. So, although I don't want to say who it was, but there's a dude on Twitter, a wrestler on Twitter. I think I want to say they were in Wrestle Kingdom, who tweeted out a whole thing. It's like, if you honestly feel as a wrestler that you can, quote, be strong in a loss, then you should hang up your boots now. You need to know that wins are more important than anything in this business. And I was all like, fuck this guy.
And he just lost his career.
I know. I was all like, oh, because you know better than the best that's ever been in the business. Okay. Huh. So there was that. I don't have anything else but that. Let's see. We had Lucha House Party and Her Business was what it was. Oh, but the Cedric Alexander bit here. So Cedric's getting a bit big-headed, and then Shelton tags himself in. They do that whole thing. They end up losing the match, and Cedric's like, I'm doing my thing. I'm winning. And MVP's like, we lost as a team. And Cedric's like, whatever, man. I'm out. Out.
Okay, it did not happen like that.
That's how I remember it.
Yeah, that's how you're the only one who remembers it like that.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, no one else is farting in this playback.
Pointless aggression.
And our listeners should know that most of the matches, when a roll up happens, Marsh is right next to me, just making fart sounds. So
every match is better if you imagine one of the people in the match is incredibly gassy.
Is it fart sounds or actual farts?
It depends.
Yeah, it's a mix.
It's a mix. It's always got to be a mix. And I'll say, if you pick the person at the beginning of the match who you believe to be the gassiest one in the match, and you make solid fart noises during the match, during predicaments in which you would imagine a fart could be squeezed out. Right. So it could be Otis, right? But imagine if it's Tucker. Or what if it's Otis and Daniel Bryan against Street Profits, and Angelo Dawkins is the gassy one? You know what I mean? Like, it gets more interesting that way, and it's just a fun little... It's good to watch wrestling in that vein.
I mean, that's the only way to watch a Street Profits match.
Yeah, it is. Splinter Fox is in the chat saying, Jay White, sorry, but I think he had a point about that. Fans should be the ones who talk about greatest match instead of the wrestlers. Sorry. Did you see his post comments after his match? It was amazing. I wonder if you're really going to leave NJPW, though. I completely disagree. I think that he honestly doesn't know how to get over in a loss, and I do think that that's one of the things that Stone Cold, Brett, JR, Bruce Pritchard, and Jim Cornette have all talked about being incredibly important things to do and be able to do as a wrestler. Otherwise, you're not very good. JR just flat out says, if you don't know how to get over in a loss, you are bad at your craft.
Yeah, exactly.
Jay
That's
White's
exactly
all
what
like, well, yeah, go ahead.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. If you can't get over in a loss, then that's just your shortcomings as a wrestler. Because there's plenty of people that take losses and look great in them. You know, how many times did Daniel Bryan lose with the underdog story? And you know, it was like, cool, like he's fighting his way. This is, you know, and he got a bunch of people behind him. So you know, you gotta take the wins with the losses. If you know, I was saying this during Asuka's streak, is you can't have somebody coming into play with the big dogs with this undefeated streak and not expect them to lose. And you know, I even told you back then, I was like, I almost half want her to come up to the main roster and lose her first match. And she's like, hey, this is where the big dogs play. You know, so, I mean, is he undefeated in his career? If not, then...
Yeah, then what's going on?
I'm sorry?
And that's just it. It's not that you're going to get over if you lose every match. You're not Kurt Hawkins, right? You don't have to lose every match to get over. That doesn't have to be your gimmick. It is, you do want, I mean, they've talked about it too. Strong booking is a huge part of it. You do need to be winning for people to see you as a winner and to get behind you as a winner. But having losses here and there should not in any way derail your momentum if you're capable of getting over in those matches, if you're capable of getting the fans on your side in that loss. Like TW Take said about it in the chat, greatest match to him is Austin versus Brett, and guess who got over? That's just it too. You think about the greatest rivalries of all time, and one of the ones that comes up in my mind is Brett and Austin. They've had 3 or 4 matches, and Stone Cold never won one of them. Brett is undefeated against Stone Cold. But who do we talk about being greatest of all time? You know what I mean? We talk about Stone Cold. Stone Cold got over losing to Brett more so than Brett got over as the winner. Realistically, I think that it was super important to Brett's character, and I think it's so smart, right? Brett, as the technician, out-wrestled Stone Cold every time, and Stone Cold looked tougher and tougher every time because he was the toughest SOB in all of wrestling. But Brett was still just the best technician that's ever been, and they both were better for it.
Yeah, but didn't Stone Cold beat in the ring tournament?
He never faced Brett in King of the Ring.
Oh, that's who he beat in the final.
No, he beat fucking Jake in the final.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he cut the Austin 3-6 promo. Because he looks over at Jake and he goes, get the hell out of my ring. Talk about your Psalms. Talk about your Proverbs. Talk about your John 3:16. Because that's what Jake was doing at the time. Because he was born again and drunk again.
Said, I just whooped your ass.
Says, I just whipped your ass. Yeah. Splinter Fox does say Raw Talk with Shayna was amazing last night. She called out the whole women's locker room. That sounds dope. I'm going to see it. I did see the clip with Mustafa Ali on there, and he also was spitting fire on that. These Raw Talks and Talking Smacks are starting to become can't miss. They're cutting their best promos on here. They're giving mic time to people off air that they're not giving it to on national TV. And these people are fucking showing up. It's been super impressive. I'll have to watch that full episode tonight.
Yeah, like the one Charlotte did a couple weeks ago.
God fucking damn it, stop it.
You're trying to rile him up.
Yeah, Splinter Fox says, yeah, that one was fire too. He called it like it is. And I agree. It was hard to disagree with anything he was saying because he was shitting all over the legends saying, like, you gave 3 hours to people who can barely walk. And he goes, and I get it. They paved the road. And he goes, but when do I get the chance to walk the road that they paved if they sit here and take 3 hours? And you go, oh, shit.
I mean, 3 hours. 3 hours after our show, I can barely walk.
Yeah. Charlotte Flair's back. Splinter Fox glad he's not watching. I'll tell you, I don't watch that part.
Sorry, Splinter. Just shitting all over what you've missed.
Yeah. Let's see. Cedric Alexander, what do you think about this with Hurt Business? Do you think we're going to see the downfall of Hurt Business, or do you think he's going to shape up? Do you think he gets kicked out and someone else gets brought in? What do you think, Kev? Tell me.
I don't like that Shelton is looking like the weak link here. Shelton's my dude.
That's good.
I like me some Shelton Benjamin. And I can see him like I think it'd be cool if he like, hey, this the whole time and Mustafa's behind it. Mustafa. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, he's like, hey, we infiltrated that. You know, I think that'd be kind of cool if they went with an angle like that. I think it's weird because Hurt Business, I liked it at the beginning. It kind of got flat, and then they've been gaining steam, donating and stuff like that, and then for this to start happening, to me, feels a little too soon. I don't know if
it does feel a little soon, especially because they just got the titles.
But
there's a crazy delay going on right now between the two of us. I agree. It did feel a little soon just because they just got the titles. Kev?
Yeah. Yes. Am I like way behind you guys?
No, there's just a chunk of a delay.
And sometimes you sound a little garbled.
I need to get like a promotion so I can start paying for his internet. I got to get this dude better package. Let's see, Splinter Fox in the chat again. Yeah. Shelton has always been made to look weak, which sucks. I heard about the stories about him and Brock going at it before live events. The only one that could take Brock. Yeah. I mean, and they talked about it when they were in OVW, is that class had, I think, Orton, Batista, Brock, Cena, and Shelton. And everyone said that the most athletic person and the one they thought was the brightest in that regard was Shelton. That no one could out Shelton at all. So it's like, yeah, the dude's a monster. We just don't get to see it a whole bunch. Let's see.
Yeah, subscribe so that Kev could have better connection.
Yeah, if we get enough subscribers, I'll just start paying for Kev's internet.
All right. I'm okay with that.
Swin Fox does say that Keith Lee would fit perfect in the Hurt Business. Having Keith under MVP's wing would work. I think it could, but I think that Keith Lee's. I don't see a point right now where Keith Lee should feel like he needs anything like that. He's not floundering at all, and Hurt Business was really a bunch of floundering people being riled up by MVP saying, "Look, guys, let's get your shit together." So let's get into Orton and Jeff Hardy. I mean, because we could just talk about Orton in general and all of this, and then we'll talk a little bit about the main event for sure. Randy Orton defeated Jeff Hardy, and they said, oh, he defeated another legend. But Randy Orton's been running around this whole show and just being mean to all the legends, just talking mad shit to them. Started to choke on Big Show a little bit, and Big Show's all like, nah, I'm just going to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you think, man. You were going to talk about it a little bit earlier, the Randy Orton. He didn't set no.
Well, at the beginning of the show, they said, or Randy said that, he's going to, show all the legends why they call him the Legend Killer or something to that effect. And he didn't kill one legend. And I'm not saying he needs to go out there and attack all of them, but one at least. He's showing a lot of restraint for somebody that regrets showing restraint.
Yeah. I would have liked to see him set someone else on fire for sure. I think they could have got away with Boogeyman. Like, he could have walked over to the Boogeyman room and just thrown a match in there and had the whole room light up. Because if you ever saw Boogeyman again, it'd be fine. Boogeyman's a demon. You could get away with that. But...
Or Kane.
Yeah.
If he happened to be there.
Well, Kane wasn't there. I mean, you could probably throw fire in Jeff Jarrett's face. He's from Memphis, so he gets it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I felt like someone should have been set on fire. I felt like Randy Orton's in a place now where he should be setting people on fire. Speaking of that, though, during this match, he starts digging his fingers up into Jeff Hardy's ear holes again. Starts twisting around, really getting in there. So much so that his fingers smelled like ear afterwards. You know what I mean? He was wearing Jeff Hardy ear rings. Get it?
I was screaming the whole time.
Get it? Ear rings. Get it? He's like, it's like a ring on his finger, but it's his ear. Yeah. No, producer was losing her shit. She was pissed.
Because
I know
at
how
the
much she loved it last time.
Oh. At the start of this, I said, oh no, does he have his gauges in? I looked at him, I was like, this is not happening again. It happened again. I was freaking out.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Twice.
This is how I imagined it went down.
Jeff.
Yeah, he did it with both of them this time, double. This is how I imagine it went down. I feel like they're in the back, and they're talking about the match. And I feel like Randy says, okay, Jeff. Here's the deal. We're going in there. I RKO you. I literally set your actual body on fire and burn you to death in the middle of the ring. And Jeff goes, I hear you. I like it. But what if instead of lighting me on fire to death, you can put your fingers up in my ears again? And Orton just goes, it's a deal right there. That's a deal.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't wait.
Okay.
Why didn't Hardy come out with like headphones, like earmuffs, something? I would have just thrown that right out. Here, you don't have this match without this. Protect your ears, dude.
That'd be funny. He goes out with like the shooting range ear protectors.
Not even the shooting range, the amateur wrestler headgear.
That would have been great.
The little cauliflower ear protectors.
Yeah.
And he's all like, what?
I've been down this road.
Yeah. Can you imagine he's just out there headbanging, and then like they get to the ring and they go over and he's like strapping it in. And Orton's like, what are you doing? He's
looking like,
what do you think I'm doing, Dick?
looking like AC Slater out there.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Yeah.
But, talking about setting people on fire and Jeff's a legend, he should have set Jeff on fire, and then he comes back as brother Nero.
That'd be good. Or Willow. Yeah. Either way. Yeah, I think Jeff Hardy could withstand burning alive. Yeah, I thought there was going to be more fire. I also thought there was going to be more explanation as to what happened with Alexa last week. Because Alexa douses herself in gasoline and says, "Set me on fire, you little bitch." And Randy Orton goes, "I would fucking love that. But you want it, and that's weird." And I feel really weird about that. That's really weird.
It was almost like she was like, "Little bitch."
I mean...
She's like, Randy. She goes, "Randy." I looks at Randy. I goes, "Bitch." You said that to Randy Orton? I did. I said that to Randy Orton. I said, "Bitch." That's how it went. And then it cut.
Just like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't see Alexa this week. We didn't see The Fiend this week. We saw Randy Orton who said, "Yeah, it was what it was," and then moves on.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah.
I'm into it. We're all sitting at the edge of our seats.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm digging this fire.
Yeah, I think it's
Fire
great.
story.
I think it's tremendous. It's wild. Let's see. In the chat, Splinter Fox says, "Come." Let's see. Did they the Legends slide? I wonder how the ratings were. I don't care about the ratings very much. And then Splinter Fox says, "Wow, they are reaching for ratings with people being set on fire." I don't think it's any more of a reach than hiring Sting. But whatever.
Yeah, both are on a show that that want to get viewers. Hopefully.
Yeah. Some people use snow machines. Other people use Inferno. Whatever. You can have your bubbles, snow. Yeah, that's good.
So real quick on that, because I saw that bullshit. They're like, "Oh my God, it's snowing in Jacksonville," and they show the fucking machine blowing out the bubbles.
We were
And
dying.
they cut to it like 5 or 6 fucking times. I was like, "What the fuck is this? It's snowing in Jacksonville. There's the machine that's making it snow."
Yeah, they're like, "Just so you know,
But
we don't want you to think it's actually."
Their production.
this is why I drink.
They're still working on their production.
Yeah. That was weird too, because we saw it and we're like, "Oh, cool, it's Sting, he's with Darby, this is cool, it's cool." And then it's like, "Oh, here comes the snow." I was like, "Wow, it's snowing a lot more than normal this time, actually. It's snowing way more than last time." And then all of a sudden this camera was just on the nozzle, and I was like, "What the fuck?" It's like, just don't show that.
Yeah,
just don't show that.
We were yelling, "Pan away, pan away."
Cut away. Camera two.
Cameraman gets on the walkies and is like, "Guys, I found the source of where it's snowing from." Okay, show it.
Show it. Cameraman's just he absorbs in it the way you watch a fire when you're just like at night just staring at an actual fire.
Yeah.
He's just all like mesmerized by the snow machine.
Like a moth in the
Yeah.
light.
Wow.
I'm sorry, we're never easy on production, and that also goes for WWE.
Oh yeah.
Like, which show was it? This I don't forget if it was SmackDown or Raw, but they kept on like just starting matches with someone's ass. I was like, why?
It was Raw. They did a lot of ass shots on Raw, and I was like, come on. Even the guy with the mobile cam, you're like, just move, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody
ding,
farts
ding,
in
ding.
the
Butt
fucking-
crack. Seriously.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kev.
Somebody farts and the lens gets fucking fogged over.
Remember when Moxley would yell at the camera all close and you see spittle get on it?
Yeah.
It's gonna be like that. They're gonna be all zoomed up on someone's butt, and you're just gonna see spittle, and you're like, "What
No.
the fuck?"
Where'd that come from? It's snowing, guys. It's snowing.
I still don't think that anything beats when we were at Rumble 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, and the cameraman was walking backwards and just totally fell and ate it, and everyone saw it.
Yeah. He was running backwards for somebody, and then just tripped over a cable and just boom, and was like, "Oh!"
Sorry, I love a good
No,
fall.
the worst one still was, I think it was SummerSlam a couple years ago. where just every chance they got, the cameraman just put the camera in Finn's crotch.
Mm-hmm. Finn versus Bray. I remember that.
Yeah, it was
That
just
was
like
a
boom.
dick-only match.
Yeah, dick shot, boom, dick
Yeah.
shot. We got another one, boys. It was like a who can get the most dick shots on their camera.
Yeah. Cut over to Daryl again. God damn, Daryl, stop. Cut away. Cut away.
Daryl, no. We know you're a fan of Finn, but come on now.
Dude, guys, check it out. I told you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was hoping for a little bit, at least some explanation as to what happened with Alexa, and at least Randy trying to set someone on fire. Even if he didn't do it successfully, I think that'd be cool if he'd like tried to. But it does take us.
But
go
the
ahead.
thing,
well,
real quick,
you say what you're gonna
with
say,
the-
and then we'll shoot the main event.
Yeah. Real quick with the Alexa thing, like you're doing the Legends Night and you're bringing in the casual fan. How do you not put forward the most compelling storyline that you have on Raw in, years?
Yeah.
And say, hey, they briefly like said, hey, this is what happened last week, but they didn't cut into that. I don't know if your buddy, I know he said something about Alexa, but excuse me, is he that enthralled to watch it next week and hope that she's there?
Right, and that's
Or
the other thing is that
Fiend,
she
for
even
that
said
matter,
if
too.
the Fiend comes back, he's going to be like nothing you've ever seen. Bleh. That's my impression of
Mhm.
Alexa. I
That is
think
terrible.
that now would have been a good time. I think that now would have been a good time to show that fucked up new Fiend, because you have so many casual viewers watching who probably, some of them are sort of familiar with the Fiend at least, but then to see a new fucked up version, people would have been like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? If you ended with a what the fuck moment instead of Eskimo kisses by two old men, then probably could have got a little bit more of a reaction. I don't know. I'm not into TV production.
I would have even been cool
Or
with
ratings.
just some teases. Like maybe, I don't know, there's some dreads on the ground or like something that's clearly of Bray's, like somewhere in the ring. Like, I don't know. I'm cool with little teases like that, which kind of like get us interested. And, to the casual viewer, what the hell was that?
Yeah,
Hold on, guys, I
think
gotta
the
step away
clumps
for a
of hair-
second.
Oh, you got to be shitting me. I think if there was like clumps of hair, I don't know that the casual viewer would be as in tune to that as the avid viewer. But I think if you showed the new look of Fiend and you had someone like Boogeyman look afraid, like imagine that room, because it was all red with Boogeyman. Imagine Boogeyman's in there fucking around, and then you see the new Fiend just rise behind Boogeyman, and then you see the Boogeyman go, whoa, and the door slams. Fuck, did new Fiend just fucking kill Boogeyman?
I still have this crazy idea that I'd like to see of the Fiend as a lamp, because we had Bray as a lamp, a
Yeah,
lantern.
I think a Fiend mask lamp
I
would be
think
good.
a Fiend lantern would be insane and
Yeah.
horrifying.
Splinter Fox brings up a really good point, actually. He says maybe they didn't want to scare away casual fans with a fire story due to the fact that it's Legends Night and they kind of want to see PG Legend stuff. And that's true. If you're tuning in because you saw Hulk Hogan was going to be there, maybe you don't want to see a man set on fire to death. That might not be what you're... See, this is where the casual viewer needs to step in and go, okay. We saw the H phone. It was fine. I do not need to see Jeff Hardy literally set on fire to death. Where we are in such a world now that we're just all like, burn them all! Yeah, TW takes. You really want Boogeyman to die? Yes. The guy eats worms, dude. Stop. When I watched that Matt Hardy compound
What's
thing...
wrong with eating
where
worms?
Dude, they did that Matt Hardy compound thing, and it turns over to Boogeyman, and he's not even, like, in red light. He's just in normal light eating worms. I'm like, stop! I'm trying to just watch TV! I'm, like, eating spaghetti, and I'm like, forget it. Let's go get chicken sandwiches.
Same thing.
Yeah. Kev, before we go to the main event, the only thing I'm just going to say,
Protein,
I'm just
man.
going to ask you real quick. I don't know. Oh, wait, you had your earpods in the whole time?
No.
Good. So, the only thing I thought that they could have done is if they unveiled the new Fiend in the red light with the Boogeyman and have, like, the door slam shut with Boogeyman screaming like he was afraid of new Fiend. I thought that could have been dope.
Yeah, and not even, showing New Fiend, showing the silhouette, saying, "Hey, this," implying it's the Fiend.
Yeah.
Could have been great.
That's true. Anything like that. Silhouette, Splinter Fox says, never been on board with the Fiend bandwagon. Too many gimmicks put into one. Yeah. I mean, if you're not into it, you're the only person I know. So it's good to stand on your island. Just kidding.
And Splinter Fox left the chat.
Yeah. GR Lunar says Splinter Fox is a tough critic. I don't know. I don't like the stuff that's good. Bothers me.
Well, I feel like we're pretty tough critics, but maybe not.
Yeah, we're pretty mean about stuff. I don't know, though. I mean, if you're a big fan of Matt Hardy, who literally changes his gimmicks in the middle of a promo and has done them all in a series of 2 promos, then that's good, too. Whichever gimmick-filled person you like, take them all.
That's
he says
because
for
all the
Wyatt, character
concussions.
better. They killed him bad. I actually did love the regular, the Creole Wyatt. I've loved every incarnation of Bray Wyatt, to be honest. But I did love that one, the Waylon Jennings style.
Dude,
And I loved that. That was my
Marsh
favorite
is
part
the-
of the swamp match, was the lead up into it, where he was cutting promos as that Bray again. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kev.
Marsh is the only person I know that has a Husky Harris shirt.
I do. Kev, let's talk about the main event. I know it's why GR Lunar even showed up tonight. This dude's been so fucking pumped.
But man,
GR Lunar
loves
couldn't
it.
be more excited right now. He's fucking hyped. He's messaged me all day with pictures and fan art and fan fiction.
Fan what?
Little
Fan what?
stories and stuff, and it's all like, oh, the day I meet, But we did get a match of Drew McIntyre versus Keith Lee that was fan-fucking-tastic. So much so, and I'll tell you right now, Drew McIntyre, I've said it on every episode 1, best heel in the business. I'm booing this motherfucker out of the building. I'm cheering for Keith Lee so hard.
Real hard.
Dude, so hard.
I love
So hard I baked potato my pants. What?
Hello.
Yeah. Talk about sour cream, am I right?
Gross.
I was going
Dude.
for more of the chives and bacon.
All right, I'm out.
Onion. Splinter Fox goes, wait, Drew's a heel again? I forget, he hasn't watched. He's not a heel, but he's the best heel in the business.
But yes.
In our minds,
No,
he's
and-
definitely a heel.
Yeah. No, he's their number 1 babyface, and I can't get enough of booing him and watching him get his ass kicked. Dude, there was stuff in here. The Spanish Fly was terrifying. Keith Lee taking a table to the spine. I was like, oh my God! I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this match is going to end in a horrible way. But I'm like riveted. I'm like into it. I'm
Yeah,
watching
Keith Lee throwing McIntyre like he's throwing Adam Cole like a bag of potatoes is hilarious.
it. Yeah. Keith Lee's like, I'll just huck Drew McIntyre. And Drew
Bunch
McIntyre's
of
like, I'm
potato
pretty strong. I can
references,
huck
I
you
see.
too. And then Keith Lee's body's like, no, you can't.
I think not.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty strong. I can throw you. And Keith Lee's like, go ahead. Ah!
Got a pretty solid base here.
Yeah. And then Keith Lee yeeted Drew McIntyre like he did Adam Cole over the barricade and everything.
Did you just say yeeted?
Yeah, that's what I thought the move was called.
Fucking, I hate that term.
Yeah, but I thought that's what he called it. That's what Clump tells
I
me.
don't know.
And I believe everything Clump says. That guy's a journalist.
You're taking advice from Clump.
He does say all the time he majored in journalism.
He majors in journalism. Why would he ever? He has to be honest to me.
That doesn't mean that though.
It's like the
Love you, Clump. I know you're not watching.
Yeah, Clump's not watching. He doesn't give a shit. Oh, that's cool too. Splinter Fox says we're totally reversed. I prefer Drew over Fiend, as you prefer Fiend over Drew, and 100%. But here's the deal: I think Drew's so good, but I cannot get behind him. He's such a smug asshole in everything he says and does that I can't help but boo him. But then you have a match like this against Keith Lee, and I am on my feet. I'm yelling, I'm screaming, watching Keith Lee versus Drew McIntyre. I'm invested in this match because I want Keith Lee to win so bad. He's not. Drew isn't just shitty, I don't want to see it, whatever. He's an asshole I want to see lose. And he's a dude who puts up a fucking fight. And I'm here for that. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, when I first saw Drew as a heel, I wanted come back on the main roster. I wanted to see him as this badass Boondock Saints kind of scary dude that didn't need to say anything, came in with his trench coat and just kicked ass. He didn't need a lot of lines. I didn't need to hear him as much as just see him in action. And then I'd be like, oh no, he's terrifying.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's also Keith
GR
Lee.
Lunar does say in the chat, and then we'll go back to you, Kev, real quick. He says, I saw the Spanish Fly. Lee barely made that landing, almost spiked. I was certain he hit his face or something. Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah. No, I was going to say that it's the same as Keith Lee. Just let his actions speak and take the mic away from him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I think that Keith Lee's...
We shit on both guys, or I shit on both guys constantly. And I I think they're both tremendous. But like Marsh says, McIntyre is the biggest heel in the business. Everything he does, says, movements, everything's heel. And then, hey, you guys are supposed to cheer this guy. And it's like, ugh.
Yeah, 100%. I don't get it. He comes. Here's the other thing too: is that okay, so I know that there's always a suspension of disbelief and stuff, and is kayfabe alive, dead, all that stuff. Blah, blah, blah. He comes out with his sword, and then immediately morning after is on a fucking interview saying, "Oh yeah, that's Vince's sword. Vince was given that sword as a gift by Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. They gave him a sword as a gift." And then they're like, and then he's like, and then Vince brings over to me. He says, "Hey, check out this sword right here. You could walk the sword to the entrance." And then commentaries are like, "Oh, look at that. His grandfather's sword given to him by Sheamus."
Grandfather Shamey gave me this sword. Quit saying sword.
Shamey was shacking up with your mom and came home with your grandfather's sword like he swore he would.
Okay. All right. Too much. Let's move on.
I think we just got blocked by all of Twitter. But that always annoys me. I can't stand it on commentary. They keep pushing it's his grandfather's sword when he came out and said it was Vince McMahon's.
We definitely lost some people.
Yeah. They're like, okay. Let's see. Splinter Fox says he can't get behind Fiend because he's a dollar store taker. I feel like they're not even in the same conversation as far as faces of fear. They're so different. That's like saying that Kane is a dollar store taker. They're just completely different characters who both live in the realm of fear. Let's see. Fabtina says Lee is insane and everything he'll be able to do the stuff he does. Yep. And then Splinter Fox says, so Roman was the same, but now he is the heel. I like this Roman better. Oh, yeah, this Roman's fantastic.
Yeah.
I cheer for the new Roman. I see the clips of Smackdown and that dude is gold. Oh, yeah, 100%. I think it's only a matter of time before we get babyface Roman because he's undeniable now.
Yeah.
But
real quick,
is fucking unstoppable. But go back.
So, Splinter Fox, do you think that Fiend is a dollar store taker because you don't like the Funhouse? Because I can see where people could lose interest in the Funhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And not realizing that it's like completely augmented, psycho crap. If you just take the Funhouse for the Funhouse, it's like, yeah, this is stupid. This is a evil Pee Wee Herman. And I can see that.
It's true. Yeah, I hear you.
Word of the day. Oh!
But 100%. So, and then Keith Lee's looking fucking tremendous here. He takes the loss. I'm pissed. I'm booing. And then it happens.
Wait. Before that.
Go ahead.
Right before that. Drew gets the win. The ref goes to hand him the belt, and he snatches it out of his hand like the fucking heel that he is.
Because he's a dick, dude.
Yes, like
I'm sorry. I'm
I
over
saw
here.
that and I was like, how is that not a heel move? And then I started thinking,
Stop it.
Sorry. Something happened off
Yeah,
camera.
listeners, I'm trying
shots fired,
to.
shots fired.
Yes.
Security.
Stop it.
I'm airing out. My balls is hot.
That was still the best post-fight interview UFC could have ever had.
You took off your shorts. Why'd you take off your shorts so
Rogan-
fast?
yeah,
Because
Joe
my
Rogan.
balls is hot.
Yeah. It
Okay.
happens to all of us. This is what Rogan says, and it's so great.
Yeah.
You were at my house when we were watching that fight, and we just died laughing.
Yeah.
My balls is hot. Well, it happens to all of us. But, anyway, you got me sidetracked. Yeah, but so
Yeah.
Drew just rips the title out of the ref's hands.
Yeah.
And, just give me that. And then, hey, good match, Keith. And it's like, how is that not a heel move? Once
Yeah,
again,
and then he grabs
everything
a
that
fucking
Drew
mic to
does.
talk shit. Fuck out of here.
Yeah. Well, he was grabbing it to congratulate Keith on his loss.
But that's just the fucking problem. Is Drew thinks that everyone needs to hear his voice every goddamn second. I forget who he was out there with, but like, it might have been Sheamus, where the show started out with a Drew thing, and then I think Sheamus comes out, and while Sheamus is saying stuff, Drew cannot fucking help himself. He has to get in the last word every time, and whenever he's fucking, what do they call it when it's just like your train of thought just being vomited out? Yeah,
Word
stream of
vomit?
consciousness just verbalized.
Oh.
So when Sheamus is saying stuff, he keeps just being like, well, I mean, if that's what you think. And Sheamus is still saying something. Oh, well, if you, and you're just like, stop. Let someone else talk on a mic for a while. You're not adding anything to this. You're distracting from actual content. Shut the fuck up. And it makes him such a good heel.
Yes.
And I'm like, kick him in the face. Splinter Fox says, I have a response for you, Kev. He says, nothing but a gimmick. I think mix of Taker, Kane, Papa Shango, Boogeyman, and Mankind. Yeah, I just don't see that.
I mean, I
But-
can see where he's coming from, is what I'm saying. 'Cause,
I can see if you
every-
want to force that, I feel like you could. But I feel like if you actually
Yeah.
look at it objectively, each one of those are so standalone. Not, like, you could say that about any one of them, about any other one of them. So that's what I mean. Like, if you want to make it happen,
Yeah,
I think
as
you can
just-
make it happen. But I think it's a stretch.
just a face of fear. Like I could see where he's coming from and stuff like that. Everyone else is eating it up. I love it as well, but
Mhm.
I can see his point of view.
Yeah, I understand why someone would get there. I just think that
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a predetermined thought. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Oh, Face of Fear, was this another Kane? And then you see him in red and you go, of course. All right, well,
Mm.
that's how I feel. But I don't know. I'm drunk and who knows. Kev,
Yes.
Drew McIntyre, I should say, by his proper surname. So McIntyre snatches the title like a shark in the night out of the referee's hands.
Like a what?
Shark in the night. And then
That's my favorite
it says,
Christmas bedtime story.
it's a good one. Splinter Fox says, a scary person in this era of internet and breaking the third wall. I think it's cheesy. Sorry. Okay, that to me is I can see that argument. I think better than the other arguments you've tried to make against it, and like that's completely makes sense to me. The idea of all like, oh, but kayfabe third wall stuff. I'm so past all that stuff in my own mind that it's like, I mean, I'm annoyed as fuck that Drew's going around saying that's Vince's sword, and then they say it's his grandfather's sword. So
Sword.
I hear you. What do you mean?
God, cool whip
So like a
over
shark
here.
in the night, he snaps the title out of the referee's hand, says, Keith Lee, you done good, baby boy. That'll do, Lee. That'll do. That's what he does, because that's what happens in those movies. And then you hear it.
Yeah, he's Shrek all of a sudden.
Ba-na-na-na-na. Ba-na-na-na. That's Final Countdown.
Yeah, it was. But go ahead.
And then Goldberg shows up. Goldberg!
And GR Lunar went insane.
Lunar goes nuts. Lunar is losing his shit. Literally, oily sharts, so excited.
Come on.
He
told
hits
me.
his head on his own door.
He
'Cause
smacks
he
his own
missed
head
it
on his
over.
own door.
He was just trying to
Lunar's
cuss himself so he
running
didn't have
around.
to see this.
In circles. It's happening. Goldberg comes out and says, Drew, you've always been disrespectful to the legends. And everyone watching goes, what? What's he talking? All the legends helped Drew win like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Because he
And he
didn't
goes, you
thank them
think you
in
could beat
his-
all of us? And then we went, what? Yeah, he's half your age and twice your size. Why would he not?
But
he's beating the shit out of everybody. Why would he not think
But
that?
hey, wait.
Go ahead.
First he said in their prime. He did throw that little tidbit out there. You think you can beat us in our prime?
Well, yeah, but why wouldn't he think that? Mike Tyson thought he could beat Muhammad Ali in his prime.
Mike
It's
Tyson's
an
a bad
actual
motherfucker.
argument. Well, yeah, he was a bad motherfucker in his time. Could he have beaten Muhammad Ali? We don't know. Muhammad Ali thought he could beat Rocky Marciano, so much so that they made a simulated, computerized fight simulation that they then acted out because they knew they were not of age to actually perform this fight fairly. The conversation of who could beat who in their prime is the heart and soul and absolute foundation of fantasy booking.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Imagine Macho Man against Randy Orton. Okay.
LeBron
But-
versus Michael.
Yeah. And 100%. Why would we not think of that? But everyone in their prime who's on that level thinks they can beat anyone else who was in their prime at that level. Yeah. So, yeah, of course Drew would think that. Why would he not think that? So it was weird.
Yeah. He's top dog.
He is top dog. Oh, Splinter Fox, really? You want to talk about Sting, but then Goldberg comes back to challenge for the title? Oh, my God, let's pray for Drew's neck. If he tries to do a jackhammer to Drew, Lunar says, not Hogan in his prime. Hogan not jobbing for no one, brother. And then Taker, Terrible Take says, you know what? He didn't say you're next, which is true. He did say, I'm not demanding a title shot, but please, sir, can I have some more? Here's the deal.
He didn't want to get stabbed.
Match,
He didn't want to get stabbed by the sword.
he doesn't want that sword in the chest, man. No one wants that sword. The other thing about Drew McIntyre's entrance is there's a lot of fire directly behind him for being called Drew McIntyre. He didn't get that name on accident. I'm just saying, be careful, guys. Be careful out there.
I've never invited him to a bonfire.
Yeah. No way, McIntyre. Not happening.
Yeah. No, not today, bro.
Yeah. So Goldberg comes back, asks Drew McIntyre for a title shot, and Drew McIntyre says, it'll be like wrestling my dad, which apparently he does. And then Goldberg shoves him to the ground, and then Drew McIntyre jumps up, and they have Eskimo kisses until the cameras run out. They're just rubbing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh. No, my
what'd you see on-
feed cut out just when Goldberg pushed him. And then
Really?
it cut out.
No, not in the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
In the Thunderdome, it shows he pops back up and just puts his forehead against Goldberg's forehead, and they're basically Eskimo kissing. So I didn't know it cut out there, but that's what happened. He shoves them, and then they Eskimo kiss,
Inuit love.
and then you go, Battle of the Ages.
Dun dun dun.
Let's see. Splinter Fox says, so this is going to be the main event for the Rumble. Yeah, it seems like it. And Bishop says, sword in the chest is Brock's thing. That's funny. That's funny.
I was actually gonna say that. Like, he took it off of Brock's chest.
Yeah.
I love it.
Where'd you
We're
think
on the
that
same
sword
page.
came from?
Yeah.
Brock's going to come out, and the tattoo will have been removed.
Dude, that'd be so
The
funny.
tattoo's just gone, and Drew holds up his sword.
It'd be so good.
So here's what I want. Because at this point, there's no turning back. We can't pretend that this isn't happening.
And
What?
you gotta say,
What do you mean, and?
give me what I want.
What? Give me what I want!
Hey,
Give me what I want. Give me what I
this is
want.
what I want. And give me what I want.
Yep. Okay,
Sorry.
let me find it. I had it written down here. Here's what I want. Give me what I want. I want Goldberg to take the title off Drew right away in like a minute.
Yes.
Like a minute flat.
Yes.
Just fucking take it. Then you have Drew. Let's see. Drew can win the Rumble. I don't mind. He can win it back to back. Because then without the title, Drew will challenge Roman for the title at Mania. Then, during this time frame, Keith Lee can take the title off Goldberg. So Keith Lee becomes major babyface for doing that. But Miz cashes in the Money in the Bank on Keith Lee, thus becoming the most hated heel in the business who just took away Keith Lee's rise to power. And then Drew in WrestleMania loses in under a minute to Roman as well, and McIntyre just joins a tag team with Ice Shamey. And then Daniel Bryan starts gunning for Miz, who's the champion, as they go towards SummerSlam.
You went pretty far there.
I'm taking it all the way through. You got to follow through, man. You can't swing halfway.
Okay.
So what do you think?
No.
Give me what I want.
I will say that going into this match, presumably at Rumble, because this is going to be the main event.
Yeah.
I've never wanted Goldberg more. Man.
Yeah, I like that. That's a sound clip right there.
Boing!
I'm surprised that wasn't Lunar who said that. I'm gonna be honest with you, the way he talks.
I'm
Lunar
channeling
says-
my inner Lunar.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Let me book like Lunar would do. Yeah, Goldberg wins immediately. Lunar says Claymore kick to the face. Goldberg retires. That's his fantasy booking. Bishop says sword yourself in the chest. And Splinter Fox says, but his Bryan contract is up in September, so the last match before he leaves to take care of his kids. I don't understand contracts. I don't let contracts get in the way of any of my fantasy booking. I don't understand contracts. I'm not in employment law. Daniel Bryan doesn't need a contract for this to work in my mind.
But
Go ahead.
hold on, hear me out. Hear me out here. Hear me out.
All right, I'm listening.
So Goldberg wins at Rumble. Yes, the only time I'll root for Goldberg.
Yeah. Goldberg.
And I think making a surprise entrance and winning to match up against Goldberg for his record-breaking performance is John Cena. Or record-breaking title reigns is John Cena.
Okay, but you realize whoever takes a title off of Goldberg is going to be a hero.
Yeah, John Cena getting 17. I'm rooting for it.
No, he's disappeared.
The Fiend ate him. Yeah. But look, I'm not against Cena
but
getting a
Randy-
17.
But Randy Orton killing the Fiend released John Cena from the grasp of hell, and now he's back.
Okay.
That could be, but if you're talking about Goldberg with the title, because there's no reason to ever talk about him without the title, because he's Goldberg and should always have the title, according to GR Lunar.
Yes.
At GR Lunar on Twitter. Check him out. Randy Orton never got his comeuppance against Brock. That wasn't Goldberg at all, huh? Brock knocked him open, right? He never had another one against Brock. So you could have Brock come back and take it off Goldberg again and then have Orton come after Brock. It's a little sloppy, though.
Yeah, do you want to see Brock and Goldberg again? See, my only fear, truthfully, is that Goldberg's putting over Drew.
Yeah.
Like, I want Drew to lose to Goldberg so bad because this is the next title defense.
Yeah.
And my fear is that Drew's going to win and Goldberg is done. You know, maybe not fully retired, but done with this run.
Yeah.
And Drew's looking strong because he beat the legend of Goldberg.
That's your fear?
Yes. I don't want to see that happen.
The last thing I want is a strong-looking champion. I'll tell you that right fucking now.
Well, he's been the weakest champion that we've ever had, pretty much.
That's
He
true.
needed
He's
five
needed all the
legends to
legends who
beat-
he openly
Yeah.
disrespects.
Yeah, he needed all of them to beat Randy Orton.
Yeah. And then he just disrespects them left and right so much that Goldberg has to
Yeah.
come in.
Yeah.
Drew! Let's see. Lunar says, I hate it, but also kind of love it. Bishop says, Circle gets the square. And Splinter Fox says, Rock versus Roman and Drew versus Cena WrestleMania. How do you...
Well, see,
I don't even know. How to
I
get to
was
that.
I was on the big Rock versus Roman bandwagon for Mania.
Yeah.
But I read an article, and it was Arn Anderson actually said
Mhm.
you can't have Roman versus The Rock without a crowd, because
Yeah.
the pop of The Rock coming back without a crowd is completely wasted. And as soon as Arn Anderson said that, I was like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's obvious. Watch any Rock anything without the crowd noise. He looks like a goofy, stupid idiot. It's the crowd that made The Rock. I mean, he literally was the people's champion because of that. The most electrifying man in sports entertainment was because of the effect he had on the crowd. It was never because he was just that tremendous in the ring. You're not going to have Drew Gulak versus Daniel Bryan in an empty arena, have it be the same as Hogan versus The Rock. You watch both of those with the sound off, and one of those looks kind of fucking stupid. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I
but
100%
Drew
agree.
Gulak
The Rock
tries.
needs the crowd. Yeah. Gulak's doing the best he can, man.
Come on.
Come on. Be fair to Gulak. But I agree. To do Rock and Roman, you have to have a crowd. Rock doesn't work without a crowd.
Yeah.
Just, it doesn't at all.
And
So,
and truthfully,
100%.
I think 100% that, especially WrestleMania in Hollywood, as they're billing it,
Yeah.
I think that was for The Rock versus Roman.
Yeah.
And I think COVID fucked everything up like it did everything since COVID was invented. Or not invented, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. In my book, the worst thing COVID ever did was affect WrestleMania. I agree.
Twice now.
Twice. Damn it, COVID.
God.
Leave Mania alone. Splinter Fox is asking, have they said anything about WrestleMania, location, etc.? Yeah, I believe that this next WrestleMania is going to be Tampa again. That they're trying to do it actually at that big arena, but we don't know much about it outside of that, other than it sounds like they'll do that and then do Hollywood the year after. So I do think you could still get to a Roman Rock in front of a crowd, but it won't be this year. It'd be the year after if they do that.
Yeah. And that's probably, like I said, Rock versus Roman has, like, in Hollywood, like, it's got all the makings.
Gotta happen.
He's Hollywood.
Gotta happen.
Yeah, that's it. But I think it's being postponed a year because, like I said, of COVID and stuff like that. And it's not the worst thing that COVID's done. That just shit, you know. But
Yeah, well,
yeah,
I'll lean the other direction. You made me waft.
uh,
God,
Man,
Oh
we
my
gotta wrap
gosh.
up because
being like that.
yeah, you need a bathroom.
Splinter Fox says
You
another
can't-
shitty WrestleMania. I'll save my money. What are you talking? Do you not have the network? You're wasting money already if you don't have the network. I'll be honest with you. The network's got so much good shit. What? It is free, but
well, certain aspects.
certain things, yeah. A lot
Certain
of good
things,
stuff on
yeah.
there is actually in the free. Not saying wrestling is free on the network, so. I don't know, man. I don't know where you go with this. I know a lot of people are not happy about Goldberg. Lunar, not one of them. He couldn't be more excited. Lunar looks
He
up to
loves it.
Goldberg like he loves it. He fucking loves it.
Goldberg is
crazy.
his god.
That's his everything. The
Mhm.
dude's got more Goldberg figures and pictures than literally I knew was out there. The
Yeah.
guy's whole house is wallpapered in it. It's crazy. It's really cool though. I
He-
like it. I appreciate a guy who's that fandom.
Yeah, he eats his vitamin and says his prayers to Goldberg.
Yes, he does. He's got the G phone.
Yeah, yeah, the Goldberg phone. It doesn't vibrate. It's just one hard knock at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. Get out of my head, you guys. Yeah. If the G phone actually throws itself into a door, and you're like, "Fuck!" The screen's gonna crack. Like, yeah, but it gets hyped though. That's how it gets ready. I don't know. I think it's fun to talk shit about it and goof off with it. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I don't know where we go. I think the obvious thing is that Drew wins. I think it's a little more interesting if he doesn't, just because it shakes things up a little bit. But, I mean, I'm going to watch either way, see what goes on. Kev, anything else you wanted to say about the triumphant return of Goldberg to shit on Drew McIntyre?
No, besides this is the one time I'm going to actually root for Goldberg.
Dude, Goldberg turned face. I know they think he turned heel for this. He did not. Not in this house.
No.
Not in this house.
He's the
Lunar, I
biggest
know,
face.
will be cheering his eyes out. The dude's going to be crying with excitement by the time Royal Rumble rolls around. And we will be here for that. I do know that Terrible Wrestling Takes podcast. We'll be doing a watch along. I'll probably be jumping in there and chatting. So if you guys want to see what we think as that does turn around, Lunar might find himself a little bit of fun by jumping in.
I think maybe TW Takes and us should do a Rumble joint watch along if at all possible.
We can mess around with the concept of that. There's a few
Just
options
throwing
we
it out
have.
there.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, we have that Discord server now that we're not using. We could potentially use, but we'll take a look at that. We'll definitely. Dick. Splinter Fox does ask, does anybody watch Impact? I will say that definitively no one here watches Impact, nor should anyone watch Impact. The best thing about Impact is all of their highlights are on Instagram. Except we love Impact. I don't know. They're not doing anything interesting right now. No, well, no one's listening.
They're not listening, but WWE is.
Bruce Pritchard's listening. He's booking based off our show.
100%.
I know. Well, so we don't watch Impact. I do watch highlights of Impact. But I don't watch the show weekly. I don't have Access TV. I don't think I have a way to watch it.
I used to watch Impact back in the day, and I liked it a lot. And I haven't watched it in years, but
yeah,
I mean, if I can, I'll watch it again.
Got hurt. He hurt himself real bad. And then Splinter Fox does say Kenny and Good Brothers are some good stuff that's going on over there. He streams it live on the Twitch channel. That's a good point. I am very curious for that match. It's going to be sometime this month, right? It's going to be in like a week or two. Kenny and the Good Brothers against other three people. It's not the Young Bucks because it's Impact. It's their tag champions and their world champs. So I think it's like, is it Chris Bay and someone? Or Rich Swann and some people? I'd got to look at it, but I am interested in the match. I saw the card when it first did. Rich Swann. It's hard to kill. It's next month. I thought it was January.
It is January.
Yeah, he said it's next month. I don't know. We'll take a look. I am curious. I do plan to watch that match. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch the whole pay-per-view, but I do plan to watch that match because I am very curious. And then Take says, March watches just enough to know how to do a crossover show with me. That's right. Guys, I think we're hitting last call. I think it's closing time up in here. Go ahead. Oh, Kev has some stuff he wants to say because he didn't want to throw it out in the news like a dipshit. Go ahead, dude.
Well, I figured we get the most
guns. That's who. Go ahead.
Yeah, we get the most viewers at the end of the show, so that's why I saved it for here. We're gonna do a little giveaway, and it basically just for one of our T-shirts from Pro Wrestling Crates or ProWrestlingTees.com. We're gonna do two, one for the Women's Royal Rumble and one for the Men's Royal Rumble. Basically, either find us on Facebook or contact me on Twitter at Kevlar on the Rocks with an X. The first 30 participants will get randomly selected a number for the Royal Rumble. If that number, that participant number wins, you win one of our Wrestling on the Rock shirts. And you can pick out the design. We'll have it sent to you. And yeah, so first 30 people, we'll do one for the women's and one for the men's. Random order, whoever wins. Like I said, if that number wins, you win a T-shirt from us.
Yeah, so 1 through 30 people enter. You will be given a number 1 through 30, and if your entrant assigned number wins the Royal Rumble, i.e., if Asuka comes in at 14 and wins the Rumble, then you
Whoever
win a
had
t-shirt.
14. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
whoever
if
had
you got
14
12
wins a
and number
t-shirt.
18 was Braun Strowman and he wins the Rumble, then you do not get a shirt.
And
Yeah, you get shit. That's it.
Kevlar, you're gonna check your Twitters?
Oh, he'll be on Twitter.
Yeah.
Kevlar
yeah,
cannot wait. He gets the DM notifications.
Yeah, I'm always on Twitter. No one DMs me. So I
DM's
don't get any
open. You can also
notifications.
at him directly. He'll get
I
notifications on
did
that.
at him. He didn't even like the thing I added him.
He saw it.
You know what?
I
I'm
gave
just
it
gonna
a-
roll credits.
A like,
Bullshit.
I think.
Just gonna roll credits.
But
now.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
So
say
that's
I
bye.
will be on.
that's what we're doing.
up until
Hit up the
up
Facebook
until we
page.
get-
Go ahead.
yeah, up until we get 30. Like I said, the first 30 people to jump on, we'll get it. And as soon as we get 30, we're closing it. And I don't know, we'll make a YouTube video or something on the random draw, so you can watch us and figure out what numbers you got. And like you said, we're not going to do contestants. We're not going to do like, oh, Asuka's in it, because we don't know who's in the Rumble. So if we do 1 through 30, we know the numbers. Hey, number 30 is, Lana. You're probably screwed.
Yes. Yep. Now, hit up, message us on Facebook. Hit up Kevlar on the Rocks at Twitter for that. Splinter Fox does have a question that I think is another one of those. We'll answer it next week questions, because he does this from time to time. Pitches us incredible questions right at the end of the show. But this is one of those ones where you got to think about it. This isn't a shotgun question. He says, I got a great question. You start your own wrestling company and you get to pick 2 wrestlers from each promotion out of the following: WWE, NXT, Impact, AEW, ROH, and NJPW. Who will you pick to build your promotion? 2 from each promotion, just to make it clear. Yeah. So you get 2 from NXT, 2 from WWE, 2 from Impact, and so on.
So, like, for
I want-
Impact, real quick, just to clarify,
Yeah.
is Good Brothers considered 2 wrestlers? Or is that
Yeah,
considered
is it tag
one
team
wrestler?
2 wrestlers, or is they 1 act?
Yeah.
And this is just for men, or is it women too, or what do we?
I think it's 2 per. So if you want to pick, I mean, you can have a smaller women's division than a men's division, or you don't have to have a women's division at all to start. I mean, to be quite honest, AEW probably would have been better served to not start off with the women's division, just because it took them so long to grow it. I mean, at this point, it's still floundering in a lot of regards. So maybe it's one of those things where it's like, hey, maybe if I'm starting a new promotion, I don't start with the women's division and we build towards that. You know what I mean?
Right.
A tag
Say
team
your
is 1
part.
pick, he says. Any male or female, and a tag team is 1 pick. So Good Brothers is 1. Oh,
So New Day
for
is one,
AEW,
including Big E?
yeah, AEW, you can say Paige and Kenny Omega as a tag team.
Yes. All right.
Former tag team champions, Omega and Paige.
Well, what about just the All
we're-
Elite? Is All Elite just 1 pick?
That's a faction. And they never wrestled together, I don't think. So that'd be messy.
No. They did.
And he said you can even pick a commentary person or a manager too, and I think that's important to say. So let's sit on that one. I'm going to send that over to our group chat so we can think about that one. And we will hit that up in the news this Thursday, because this Thursday is when we hit up NXT and AEW, where we have our Thursday night chaser, because every good wrestling Wednesday night needs a good hard drink behind it. Trust me. And a ref. Oh, that's a good point. He said just to make me happy, and he knows. I'll tell you which brand I'm not picking 1 ref from off the top of my head. And Splinter Fox says, okay, he'll be back on Thursday for sure.
Ooh.
And on Thursday, we talk about NXT, we talk about AEW, because those shows need a stiff drink behind it. Lunar says, damn, I got to think about this one too. I want Lunar's picks. I want Kevlar's picks, my picks, Clump's picks. We're going to make a whole thing in the beginning. Hopefully there's not a whole bunch of news, and hopefully, knock on wood, we don't get the kind of tragedy we've been getting week after week in 2020. So we can just start off the show, build into this, our Wrestling on the Rocks promotion, and go from there. You guys good with that?
Yes.
Tomorrow night, TW takes Terrible Wrestling Takes. If you're listening to this on podcast or listening to it on Wednesday, New Year's Evil will be on NXT, and TW Takes podcast at twitch.tv. We'll be doing a watch along for that. They airs at different times, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to be in there. But he will be doing it, and if you get the East Coast feed, jump in there, have a drink with the guy, let him know what's going on. He's doing a giveaway. They're good people. They support us. Watch the goddamn wrestling show with this dude. He'll yell right back at you. Maybe you'll get a treat, and his wife will be in the background yelling about stuff. It's always good when she puts him in check. Kev, are you ready for last call?
No.
I don't want to go home.
Not yet.
Yeah. Splinter Fox is upset there's no AEW watch along strictly because NXT is New Year's Evil and AEW is just another Dynamite.
Yeah, and you don't want to see us yell the entire show.
I get so mad, man.
The whole time, I'm just looking over at Marsh saying, why are you watching?
I'll
Why?
tell you, though, the next time AEW does a special show that's like a Bash at the Beach type thing, I bet you we could twist Terrible Take's arm and get him to do a watch-along that I'll jump in on. Guys, I think that's last call. Hell of a show today. I thought we were going to be in and out in a little bit of time, but we just been drinking and hanging, guys, and that's the whole vibe of this. We are here to hang out, to talk wrestling, BS, have a good time. Some of the shit's silly, some of it's not, but we're all watching it because it's fun. So, guys, thank you for coming around, being our drinking buddies. Special New Year's Smash Night 1 for AEW? That might be true. I don't know. Go follow Splinter Fox. Go follow TW Takes Podcast on Twitter and see if you can't twist his arm on something. Guys, that's last call. Cheers.
Cheers, maggots.
Hey, Producer Lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support us or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers!
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.